He said he's rejoining back, isn't he?
Yeah.
We're live.
And we're live! CG, we've had some issues with the stream. We've had some issues all across the board, although we are ready to start now. We're up and running. How are you guys doing? The first game we're going to be looking at is Royals and Valkyrie, so I'm going to let them know that we're ready to go, and we can get this started.
Yeah, the game is going to be Valkyrie versus Royals, and just quickly run down the lineups. On Valkyrie esports side, we have Godstrek, VP, Bugs, Xylos, Miramia, Satiric, and Lislak. Meanwhile, on the side of Royals, we have Slags, Counter NZ, Bullet, Arc Dirty, Tuxedo, and Nitro.
Once we can get into a match here, we'll have a look at their lineups, look at what they'll be picking, and yeah, we'll go from there. It's going to be a good stream, hopefully, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy it.
Yeah. So about the lineups, obviously Valkyrie being decently placed up in OCE Gold in the Paladins Community League down in Australia.
Choose your champion.
Do have the advantage, but I will get back to that because we just got into Champ Select and Valkyrie Esports have just locked in Makoa. What do you think about that pick?
Yeah, we were just assessing that before the game started. We were discussing who is going to be the most picked. We both thought Makoa. We had Drogo's mentioned as well, but yeah, Makoa getting picked straight away for Valkyrie. No, it's not Valkyrie. Valkyrie's on the red side.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Calder NZ is Royals. That's my bad. Looks like Valkyrie is hovering over this Bomb King Charlene combo. Looks like they're going to lock in the double DPS, which means it could open up Royals on the other side to pick up maybe a healer and a DPS, or 2 DPS for themselves. But I don't see them doing that. I see them probably picking up a healer here if they're gonna be smart about it.
It's interesting picks for Valkyrie, taking the Charlene and the Bomb King. Miriama from last week's PCCL, or whenever I saw him play last, he was actually quite a solid Androxus, so maybe going to use Charlene and see if he can replicate his skill from last time out. But we'll have to wait and see. And the lobby's just gone down, unqueued from spectating. I wonder what's happened there.
Obviously must have been an issue with someone mustn't have picked, or there must be something going wrong with the lobby, because me and LaBoy are now back out of spectating mode, and we're going to have to, I guess, go back in, and we're going to have to do a full-on redraft. And
yeah, Calder just messaged me now saying that Nitro's gone MIA. We're not really sure what's going on. This isn't our fault. This is probably just CG or Paladins or something being something and deciding to mess up on us. Because why not?
Yeah, it looks like, if I'm looking through my Discords correctly, in the side of Royals Discord, Nitro has actually gone offline, so it looks like they're probably going to just get straight into their... looked like they were going to get straight into their sub, which is... It looks like it's going to be Bullet. Looks like they're going to get Bullet to come in for their 5th player. If I'm seeing the lineups correctly.
Yeah, this is a bit odd. I'm gonna queue to spectate the match and see.
I'm queuing to spectate Calder.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see what happens out of this.
Valkyrie Royal, I'm seeing in the custom games now. They've currently got 8 out of 10 people in the lobby, so I guess we're just waiting on 2 people from.
Yeah, we should be back again, and probably within the next 30 seconds or something.
I'm seeing on Discord now, LaBoy, Royals Nitro has actually just come back online, so I'm not entirely sure if he's just going to get right back in, or if they're going to bring in Bullet.
Yeah.
They also do have, I'm not sure if it was signed up on CG's side of things, but they do actually have Arvo Doggos in their arsenal if they do need.
Yeah, we're gonna have to just see what comes out of it. Hopefully, the draft is still gonna go the same way, and there's no.
There shouldn't be any dogging There shouldn't be any not pleasant things in the draft, but it should be a full-on redraft if I understand rules correctly.
Yeah, it should be. Looking at the other games that are going to go on, though, we have FBK Wildfire. We're not going to stream that one because we're doing Royals Valkyrie, but I'm predicting that that Wildfire's going to take that one. And then Intoxicated versus TMX, I'm going to go with Intoxicated. Obviously, Avant and Kanga both have buys, and then Mediocre Mafia, Forfeit, and Kings, they all get through to the next round as well, regardless.
Yeah, that's true. And well, obviously the top two teams with the 11 teams that came into this tournament, some of the teams haven't actually fully signed up and aren't actually going to be allowed to play in the tournament. There are 6 minutes allowed left in the official rulebook to get back in, to get people in so they can play, but at the moment it's looking like the people going through straight to the second round is going to be Kanga, it's going to be Avant, it's going to be the Kings, all formerly known as Equinox, it's going to be Forfeit, and it's going to be Mediocre. Mediocre's a pretty newly formed team, and it looks like this tournament is just going to be a warm-up for them, also a tournament practice for them, because I haven't actually seen them. They're quite newly formed, and they've kind of grabbed people from other teams. They've just got bits and pieces, and I'd like to see if they can actually perform on this stage.
Yeah, the bracket has just been updated a bit there. So Mediocre and Forfeit, they're put into the next the round, so they're going to be facing against each other, which should be interesting, because Forfeit, they've kind of had a few members in teams with each other and then, disbanded, etc., etc. So seeing them playing against a pretty new team, we'll get to see some new faces, some familiar faces, but hopefully it'll be a good match.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be a good match, but it'll be very interesting to see, like, just these new teams. It'll be good to see, like, if the more built teams are going to struggle against them, or if they're just going to be able to breeze past them. Because the new teams, the disadvantage is they're new and they don't have a lot of teamwork, but their advantage is people won't be able to predict them as easily. Whereas people like Kanga and Avant are going to know each other's strategies, they're going to know each other's plays, and those type of games will be just down to execution. So it'll be very interesting to follow the lineups, the matches. Sorry.
Calder's he's just said that it's going to take a couple of minutes just because one of their players, their game is still starting up. So hopefully the match can be underway shortly if things go to plan, which they aren't so far. We've had about a 30-minute delay due to some CG issues, some Twitch issues, but yeah, once all the barriers are pushed aside, we should be in for a hopefully steady stream.
Yeah, well, as this is week 1 as well, and there's still 2 more weeks to the qualifiers, and after that there's going to be, I believe, another set of another tournament separately, and that'll push I believe one team through to Dreamhack, and it looks like Kanga and Avant are going to be the teams that are going to be struggling for those spots. They're going to be fighting for those that one spot that's needed to get through to Dreamhack, and that'll be a game that would be very interesting to watch, as they have a very interesting history. Teams do not exactly like each other. I would nearly say it's a rivalry.
Lobby's gone up here, and they do have JNS Nitro back, and they are going to start with the same Makoa, Charlene, Bomb King picks.
And I believe, this is going to be, and the Drogos was being hovered, and it'll be interesting to see if they're going to pick up a healer here for Slags, because it'll be just interesting to see if they're going to try and take away a healer, or if they're going to, for some reason, I can't see them doing anything but taking a healer here. And actually, I'm quite surprised with this pick. They're actually going to take Androxus.
Whereas, see, I'm not so surprised with that, because if they let Valkyrie take Andro, then they'll have Andro, Charlene, Bomb King, 3 very, very stable DPS. If they let Mirayama touch down Androxus, they're going to be in for a lot of trouble. So it could have been a smarter pick. They're leaving the tank till the end, Valkyria, but they've got Lex and they've got Maldamba. Hovering the Ying, I think, would be a wise choice to lock her in. And since they don't already need a tank, they have some flexibility here. They could maybe take a Cassie, a Victor. We can't actually see the map, so depending on the map, Kinessa could be a decent shout. But yeah, we'll have to see what JNS Nitro decides to pick up.
Yeah, it'll be. I'm almost certain that JNS Nitro will be on that Androxus, and now that I think about it, probably taking up that Androxus was probably a decent pick because Androxus is one of JNS Nitro's biggest picks, and it's also one of. And we've actually just had the lobby go down again. This is not the greatest. This is not the greatest start to this this tournament, ladies and gentlemen.
Apparently, they're going to take in Bullet now, and FBK has forfeited against Wildfire. That's odd. I've only just been informed of that in the captain's chat. But Wildfire's going to get pushed through to the next round, apparently. So they'll be up against Kings. So this stream is just getting worse and worse by the minute. But it's none of our faults. It's the fault of some potato computers. So I think it's JNS Nitro that is that's causing the problems. I'm not sure, but hopefully the sooner we can get this stuff sorted out, the better. This has not gone the best, but not everything can be perfect. You gotta win some, you gotta lose some.
Yeah, and well, I guess now they're just gonna have to go with the draft that they've got with a new person, and I guess we're gonna have to see how that's gonna go. But I'm hoping that Bullet, because Bullet is actually a tank main for Royals, and switching out a DPS main for a tank main, I want to be able to see Royals actually still manage to do well.
Yeah, the custom game is being set up. It's got 9 out of 10 people, so I think we're maybe just waiting on Bullet to load his game up. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think I'm on my friends list, so it's just going to be a matter of time until we see this lobby up again. And hopefully it stays up. 3rd time's a charm. Yeah,
and well, it was looking like it looked like Valkyrie had a bit of flexibility in their final tank pick. Now we're seeing though they're going to be able to.
Champion.
Actually, I'm not going to finish speaking because we're actually getting back into champ select, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a direct redraft for the 3rd time. They've got Bullet in now, and I guess we're going to see the Drogos and the Androxus picked up here, and
Maldamba Lex, and then it'll go to
Bullet to make up his mind on what he wants to pick.
It'll definitely be Fernando for the side of Valkyrie, though. That is Xylos's main. He's had I'm not sure if it's his main, but he's definitely very, very experienced on Fernando. He does play quite a bit of Maldamba as well, but I'm not sure if he's going to be the one on Maldamba. They have him selected, so if they have Maldamba and Fernando, they've got a bit of flexibility with who Xylos can go on. But yeah, we're going to see the Ying picked, and the last pick we never saw who they were going to select here. So I'm maybe looking at a Cassie, maybe a Victor.
Yeah, Cassie or Victor.
Yeah, Eevee's quite strong if used correctly. There we go. We're going to see the Cassie maybe locked in. It'd be wise. That's probably what I'd say they needed. Get a bit of range going, and there they have their lineup locked in, and then the Fernando locked in for Valkyrie. So there are the lineups. We'll see who changes to what, who is playing what. Xylos on the Fernando, Godtrick, Maldamba. Miriyama on the Lex because he didn't get given that Androxus. That's going to be in the hands of Arc Dirty for this game. Bullets on the Makoa. And it's just occurred to me in system chat that Bukes has gone offline. This is ridiculous. That's the reaction there, folks. Just my very depressed sigh that this is going just as bad as we hoped it wouldn't.
Yeah, this is probably the worst start to a tournament that I've ever seen. It's just it's just basically people one after the other just constantly going AFK and having their computer crash.
You know, we could have picked the one match that didn't screw up, which was Intoxicated Team X, because FBK forfeited against Wildfire, and now we're having issues in this game. It's just our luck that we picked one of the matches that is going to get messed up back to back to back.
Yeah, we're going to be going for 4th time lucky here, and I wonder if it's a crash or if he's actually just gone offline.
He says he's come back online, so hopefully this lobby gets up and stays up. Feel like a broken record.
Yeah, I'm honestly nearly gonna have to predict that. I'm gonna have to predict that when we're in game, I feel like there's gonna be a pause once we get right into game.
Well, the TMX versus Intoxication lobby is up, and that one has just gone underway. And then the lobby for Valkyrie and Royals has gone up, and Cold has been a bit cheeky and named it this time. So hopefully it stays up. We can only pray, fingers crossed.
Yeah, we're gonna have to just hope here that 4th time lucky, that the game can actually finally start and that we can actually start to commentate a game rather than go through about 30 minutes of talking about the matchups and the teams. But even then, our information is actually wrong because the teams have actually switched out a couple of people. JNS Nitro has switched out on the side of Royals, and I'm hoping that Bugs is going to stay in on the side of and we're back into on the side of Valkyrie, yeah, and
Your champion.
Hopefully they can select quicker than they can disconnect. VPI is taking a long time. There we go. He's taken the Bomb King.
I believe they're just going to do it in a random order. I don't believe they're going to do it in the order that they did it previously.
They can pick who they're actually playing this time around. So there's not going to be any switching. And I'm still unaware of the map. So we're going to have to just get straight into this, see how it goes, hope there's no more disconnects, and try to get match 1 of game 1 underway at last.
Yeah, 4th time's the charms. 4th time is the charm here, and we're going to see the exact same lineups, and Bugs is back in the lineup. There has been no switch out, and the lineup, the draft, to me, it seems like there's just... It seems to me that Valkyrie drafted a tiny bit better, just baiting some picks, and I'm hoping that this is going to be a good game today.
I'd say that they're all fairly balanced teams, fairly balanced champion picks. They're all on champs that they're relatively strong on. There's no odd picks that, you know, have you scratching your head. So hopefully we're going to see what happens. The map is going to be Frog Isle, and we're underway here. So when the timer gets up and running, we'll have to all pause at the same time, get all of our streams in sync, and then we can get this match underway at last. Apologies again, guys, for the excruciatingly long, unnecessary wait, but these things happen. Timer has started, so we'll pause it at 70 like we normally do, and we'll get underway from there. Alright, we are paused, so whenever you're ready to count us in, Matsy.
Alright guys, are you both at the time?
Yes, at the time. 70?
Yep,
Yes.
70 seconds.
Yep, I am at 70.
Alright, I'll count us in. Standard procedure. 3, 2, 1, and then unpause and go. Alright, so 3, 2, 1, go. 9, 8, 7,
7.
6.
We are good.
Fantastic. Good luck, guys.
Thank you very much, Mr. Host himself. Big shout out to Matt for hosting the stream for us. So yeah, make sure to give him a follow. He streams every now and again. He also does PCCL with me every Sunday. So yeah, stay tuned for some of that. And yeah, this map's gonna be it's gonna be interesting because Bomb King can be used quite effectively on this map. You know, he has the poppy bombs. So if we see some launches off maps, that'd be pretty entertaining. No Kinessa for this map. Kinessa's normally quite a good pick. I still have flashbacks to seeing Joel using Kinessa. I think it was either Joel or Chronix using her very effectively all the way back in Eevees. But that was a while ago. The meta has shifted. We got some new people in the scene. And we should be starting up. There we go. Capture point spawning has just come in.
Indeed it is. And yeah, we're gonna start to see the loadouts of.
Pause. This is brilliant.
We're going to get paused on 38 seconds, and I guess we're going to have to wait here until Calder and Zed unpauses. We here do not know the reason currently why there is a pause, but I'm guessing that it is on the side of Valkyrie.
It's Calder's just notified me that Tuxedo's game has crashed while they were loading. This is frustrating. We're all trying to keep our cool. We're trying to remain calm in situations like this. Have some deep breathing. No one get too overexcited by this. It's nothing is perfect in this world, and this stream is a perfect example of that. We're 45 minutes in, and we haven't even begun the first match. Feels bad.
Yeah, I guess we're just going to have to wait here until everyone's computer stops being a toaster, I guess, and there's nothing else we can do apart from talk a little bit more about the matchups and the game ahead. We can't do much more than that because, well, everyone keeps on crashing, and I'm feeling that everything's going wrong tonight, so I'm feeling that something else could go wrong, so I guess we're just going to have to wait and see.
This match, it's regardless of who wins it, they're going to have to face Kanga in the next round, and I don't foresee either team even getting a kill against Kanga. They're an unstoppable force. They're a machine that cannot be stopped, and they're going to steamroll their way past Royals or Valkyrie, and then past Mediocre or Forefront into the final. To see who gets in with them out of Kings and Avant, they're my two predictions, is going to be a nice sight to see, because then we'll have an interesting final regardless. But that is going to be within 72 hours time, when the games can actually run properly and when people's computers can not crash.
Yeah, I've casted much lower intensity games and much lower stake games, and there has been pretty much no pauses through them and no problems through Champ Select, and this is just this is the worst game to have all these problems going on. This is the road to Dreamhack, and this is what can get a team to reach its dreams of performing on the international stage.
Yeah, it's looking more like road to Dream Crash at this point. Some of these teams, it's going to be hard for them to get to Dreamhack when their computers can't run properly. But I mean, it is frustrating. As I've said, these things happen. You can't avoid them. I mean, you can avoid them if your computer isn't a toaster. But, you know, again, this isn't a perfect world. And that's a nice little voice line from Fernando coming out. Not sure if you guys heard that or not, but
yeah,
cheeky,
I did.
Cheeky Xylos. While we wait for, I believe it's Tuxedo to get back into the game. That's 3 or 4 different people all having issues. Why must it be today? Why could it not have been the other times? See, we even have Wildfire versus King starting, and that's in the next stage. So this is a disaster.
Yeah, pretty much games are going to be done and second rounds are going to be starting before we've even gotten into the first point of the first game. This is not the best way to start the tournament off, and it hasn't been anything on our end. It's basically been the stream problems, it's been cyber gamer problems, it's been individual players problems, and I can't see what much else can go wrong at this point.
Yeah, this is shocking. And I'm getting this very annoying Bomb King noise in my ear that's just on a constant loop.
Yeah.
And since the game is paused, there is nothing I have in my power to do anything about it.
Just gonna cut in for a second, guys. I think it'd be advisable to switch to the Wildfire versus Kings game. So if you guys will be down to do that, I can sort that out for you right now.
If that is what is the best decision for the stream and for the viewers, then I'm more than happy to do that.
Alright, we'll get into that in a moment then, guys.
I will get out of this game and stop that Bomb King irritating noise, and I will begin to make my way to that game.
Yeah, Calder's trying to. He's saying that they're going to try get Nitro instead of Tux, even though Nitro is having issues as well. But I'm going to just inform him that we're going to go straight onto the Wildfire Kings game.
Do we want to? Who are we going to spectate?
Any of the Wildfire or Kings players. I'm just going to look at Braxius because I'm 90% sure that he's going to play, and I haven't got system chat, so I'm just going to go send a message to someone. Blah, blah,
I'm
blah.
seeing. I just said splash take Braxius, and it says I'm spectating his current match now. So I feel like I'm about to get into game because I can't see their lobby in the custom games menu.
I'm just going to try send a random invite to someone so that I can actually get my thing to pop up. I'll send one to you actually.
I joined a casual queue, and that's how I got mine up. I'll just decline it for you. There you go.
Hang on, casual queue. Oh yes, and then cancel. Good
Yep.
tip. Spectate Braxius. Spectating Braxius' current match, and hopefully this one goes through, and we can get some Paladins gameplay up for you guys. Please don't be bored on the stream. This is not our fault. This is not your fault. This is computers crashing. This is Paladins being Paladins. This is Twitch for some reason being buggy, and it is CG taking its sweet time.
Yeah, there's not much at this point we can do. We've pretty much run down the match, and well, now we're going to have to run down a new match. Either probably from Champ Select, I'm hoping, and I'm hoping it doesn't just throw us into the middle of the game.
Yeah, this is quite annoying. I'm gonna try spectate Myth 93 and see if it's starting because
Select.
there
we
go.
are-
We are in
game.
Wildfire getting the first pick on the blue side. We have the standard lineups here. We have Myth, Soch, for April, Flexi, Human Radio on the side of Kings, Jacob, Zevanator, Stez, Online Hero, and Braxius for Wildfire.
And there's going to
is
be a
gonna get
Drogos.
first pick. I'm probably going to say that Stez will take Drogos. From my knowledge, he is quite good on the dragon himself. Myth taking Androxus, Soch taking Makoa, two very, very strong picks. Zev and Stez were the next picks. Maybe a Bomb King to get take that away from Kings, but maybe a Fernando wouldn't be too bad of a pick, because if they let Kings have that option of getting Makoa and Fernando, that it's not a meta thing to take two tanks, but it will be a strong force, because then they'll be stuck on either Inara, Ruckus, Torvald, or Barrack.
But actually, we're going to see the Bomb King and Ying come out on the side of Wildfire, and now I guess it's just on to Kings to make their decision if they're going to take. Most likely, they're going to take 2 DPS here. That's what I'm guessing. They're going to hover over the Victor and actually them out Dumba.
Yeah, the Maldamba isn't a surprise to me. Human Radio is probably the best Maldamba in OCE. And even though Wildfire have their healer, so they don't really need to take Maldamba, they're going to pick him now anyway. And the Victor is a strong pick, quite good at range, good accuracy, can result in good kills, some nice feeds. You're going to see Lex and Fernando taken. So we have some very, very standard picks. I'm not sure if this Pip coming out from Human Radio is what they're actually going to pick or not. I'd probably suggest some changes to a Charlene or a Cassie maybe, but we are going to see the
lock
Pip
it in.
Get some splash going since they don't really have much else. They could have taken an Eevee if they needed some splash, but the Pip, an interesting selection. I'm going to go to 4 April, who is, back when I played, he was notorious for being quite a good Pip. Soch on the Makoa Myth, staying on the Andro Flexi, taking Victor, and then Zev on the Bomb King, Jacob on Lex, Online Hero Drogos, there's Fernando Braxius on the Ying. Standard lineups, wait to see the map, and we'll see how things go from there.
Yeah, it's not surprising seeing Online Hero on the Drogos. He seems very comfortable, quite content on that champion. But I guess it's just going to be down to communication in these sort of games. If teams of quite even skill level, it's just going to be down to execution and how the teams communicate in game.
Yeah, in terms of raw skill level, I'd probably say Kings have the advantage. They've also been together for quite some time now. So having Soch in the team is I've not actually seen them play with Soch. They used to have Diggy, good old Diggy, when I was playing. So seeing Soch with them is it's going to be interesting. Map is going to be Serpent Beach. I know this is Jaguar Falls. Those are two maps that I always get confused. I'm not entirely sure why. You know, Jaguar Falls is the big one with all the Jaguars and all the falls. So we are going to pause at 70 again, which is in 3 seconds. Oh, and it's gone straight to 49.47. So I'm going to pause it when it hits 40 because apparently this is only countdown anyway.
Just to cut in, guys, the timer does come back eventually, so just wait for it to come back at 10 seconds at the top, and then pause it there.
I'm actually at 12 currently.
Alright, go to 15
to 12.
then.
Yeah, we'll go to 15.
Okay, I'll pause to 15.
Yep, everyone's there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, although I'm currently not actually locked onto a player, and if I hit 1, 2, 3, 4, it's not letting me actually get stuck in someone.
It does in a little bit. You just need to let it sit for a little bit, unpause, and it works.
Alright, so whenever you guys ready, we can do the countdown.
Alright, I'll count us in right now then. 3, 2, 1, go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 0.
Mm-hmm.
Should be good. Cool. Good luck, guys.
And I believe I'm now locked onto a player. Have you managed to lock onto a player?
Oh yes, there we go. I'm on Myth. My capture point spawning in 30. My capture point is glitching out a fair bit. I'm not entirely sure why.
Yeah, I'm off someone as well. As in, like, it's chucked me back into the abyss.
Abyss? Is that a throwback?
4,
there we go. 26, 20. Okay, my timer is being a bit funny right now.
Oh, I'm back on the point now.
You're on the point.
It's in, like, I'm spectating the point now. I'm back in. This is... I can't believe this.
Okay, my capture point has just started. And okay, so do you want to pause it at a time at the top there? What are you guys up to?
It's actually just glitched out for me. It's put me up to 217.
217?
It's fast forwarded.
Matt, what's yours at?
Timer's currently at 1:35, and Kings have just taken some early point pressure.
Yeah, mine's at 1:15.
Alright. So what's your time at, Benno?
Currently trying to get on to someone. I'm currently at 244.
Alright, if you pause, then we can catch up to you.
too easy. I am paused at 251.
Yeah, for some reason, I actually spawned into the game and everyone was moving in slow motion. So I should have been stuck at Matsy's time, but yeah, I don't know what moving in slow motion. I had to just fix a little bit here, but yeah, Kings are just taking the point then.
Yeah, my game all of a sudden just went incredibly fast forward and pushed me all the way out to 2 minutes 51, and I couldn't even pause it.
Yeah, well, we're having a few issues, but that's fine. Once we could get this underway, it should be good. So yeah, mine's slowly catching up. I'm at 216 now.
Enemy killing spree.
So far from what I'm seeing, the match has actually gone the way I've expected it to go. Myth doing some very nice work there. Yeah, mine's slowly it's 230.
Just pause at 251.
Just page up to fast forward.
Yes, but when I hit fast forward, sometimes it sticks.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah, that's probably why I was having issues with the slow-mo and all that. So I'll be there in 5 seconds. Right, I'm at 251. I'm ready when you guys are.
Right, I'll count us in for the second time. 3, 2, 1, go. 2, 3.
Yes, I am good.
Awesome. Good luck, guys.
Right, Benno, what do you think's going to happen from this point? We have some good holds coming out here from Wildfire, so we'll have to see which route Kings decide to take if they want to push through to this.
Yeah, it was when it was fast forwarding for me, it just seemed like it was just Kings just absolutely cakewalking through Wildfire. But it's now it's at this point, and we're going to see a bunch of ults being used here. Myth is going to pick up too. He's going to pick up the Lex and the Drogos. And it looks like it's going to be an absolute cleanup here. It's going to be an absolute cleanup here for Kings, and it looks like that's going to be a 2-0 here. And it's going to be a 2-0.
Really well done there for the side of Kings. Just once they get the ball rolling, they don't let it stop. They're just complete dominance.
Still having problems.
Yeah, so am I. I keep getting stuck. My camera keeps getting stuck.
Okay, as in
when,
like
when you hit enter, your camera does get stuck and it's refusing to lock onto a player for me. When I use 4 and 6, it just toggles my camera around.
Yeah, all of a sudden I've just got and then I just go back to blue screen seeing nothing.
5, 4.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is Paladins having one of the strangest spectating systems that I've ever seen.
I'm actually just going to look at the stream at the current moment, just to see where the stream's up to.
Okay, so hitting the asterisk forces you underground.
I'm currently just looking at water, as in like I can see the player, but then it just looks like he's shooting into water for me.
And everything's gone slow-mo again for literally no reason whatsoever.
Stop the payload.
But meanwhile that's happened, it looks like Wildfire has actually managed to take the point here.
Yeah, this is quite strange from the spectator's point of view.
This is quite the odd set of events, to be honest.
My game's fine. Do you want me to just take over
Oh,
for
hang
this
on.
one?
I think I actually got locked onto someone. There we go. I'm locked onto people. It is going slow-mo, but I'm locked on, and I'm back. I'm back to normal. I can use my number pad again. I'm at 507.
You're too kind.
So I have got mine working properly. What are you on, Matt?
Currently towards 550 if you want me to pause there for you.
Benno, are you managing to get any luck?
I'm currently seeing nothing, but
Yeah, I eventually just kept spamming my number pad until something came up. I'm really not sure what button is triggering this, but yeah, this is quite odd. So are you paused at anything, Matt?
I'm paused at 550 at the moment. If you want
Right,
to get to
I'll
there.
meet you there in 7 seconds.
Alright.
Right, I am paused at 550. Hopefully when I unpause, it
All right.
doesn't decide to go slow-mo on me. So if you're ready to count us in, and if Benno's still having issues, then feel free to do that.
Yeah. So are you still having issues, Benno?
Yeah, I am
Do
actually.
you want me and the boy to just finish off this match, and we'll bring you back in the next one?
Yeah, I'll mute my mic and try and get my Paladin spectating to work again, and then I'll jump back in at the end of the game.
All right.
Count us in.
I'll see you in a bit. Anyway, 3, 2, 1, go. 1, 2.
Yeah, there we go. And I'm not in slow-mo.
Yeah.
Alright, hopefully this stream can go well now from now on, guys. We've got Lex, Bomb King, Nando with ults on the side of Wildfire, Androxus, Makoa, Pip, Maldumba, Victor. Full stack of ults here as Jacob picks up a nice split triple, managing to hold this middle point quite well. Will they be able to get the push in is yet to be determined, but I'm not sure if it's possible. They have some ults if they wish to use them, but then again, so do Kings. Kings might try to hold on to them though, just to secure the next point.
Kings are able to establish a lot of pressure against Wildfire at the moment. Like, as we saw earlier, Myth 93 on Androxus just pushed into the Wildfire players very aggressively and wasn't really punished as effectively as he should have been. And so, in turn, his team's just managed to get some picks out of that, and all in all, they're just setting themselves up for a really strong defense so far.
Yeah, they're holding this quite well. Myth is getting a bit aggressive though. He's coming out quite far, and he's going to come back now, making sure he doesn't get picked off. And Kings are quite good at communicating. If someone feels like they're getting pressured, they'll call for some backup. And as I saw just a few moments ago, Myth was getting pressured, and then Maldumba and Pip both came to help him out. There's Soch going down though, and then traded to get Braxis out. Human Radio goes down, so no tank, no heals for the Kings. There goes Myth. Jacob doing some work. Flexi taking down him, and then Zev getting rid of Flexi. So this is going to be an overtime push if they are going to do it for Wildfire. Soch hooks in Bomb King, takes him down. They have ults to use, both teams, full stacked ults. Whether any are going to get popped is yet to be seen. If they're going to communicate right, they're either going to use all their ults or none of their ults. And here is some beautiful defense from Kings, and that is going to be the third point for them.
Definitely well defended by Kings. I thought that Wildfire would have been able to take it back towards the end there, but it seems that Kings used their experience to their advantage and just managed to take the defense point.
Yeah, and when the payload is so close to King's spawn, and Wildfire do have to travel a lot more, it is just pretty much player advantage and player skill. Because if any ults were popped for Wildfire and Kings managed to defend them, then that would have been a huge disadvantage for them going into this round. Whereas since no one popped ults, it's going to be a fully stacked 10 ult point contest. So if they're going to use ults, I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure Kings are comfortable to take this with or without ults, but Wildfire are going to have to pop some if they're going to stay alive. And there goes the Lex ult. There goes Ying's ult. Pip's ult got popped as well. So did Maldumba. So did Makoa's. We're having a lot of ults here. And Androxus. That's all of King's ults down. But they did get the wipe. So they are going to have the advantage. They only got 4 ults for Wildfire. But if they use them right, they could knock Kings off this point. They're halfway through. So if they don't push eventually, Wildfire is going to get in trouble here.
And the percentage is starting to tick down. Wildfire trying to move towards the left side of the map, trying to stack up as a team. They've managed to get some presence on the point so far. Drogos trying to take on Pip on his own, but it seems that, well, Myth's ready for him, and ooh, he's managed to escape just by the skin of his teeth. Both teams getting odd picks here and there. Makoa trying to rush the point, but Wildfire's managed to take another point.
This game is going to get extended a little bit longer, because even if Kings defend this, it's still going to be a 2-3 because they don't get points for defense. Myth is well caught out here, and he is going to get picked up if he is not careful. He doesn't have any dashes left, he doesn't have his reversal, and gets taken down. Managed to get rid of Jacob though, just as he got slaughtered by Online Hero. Some some maybe just get caught out. That's an odd thing for Myth. He's normally quite good with his positioning. We're gonna see Bomb King's ult. Zev he's just completely wasted his ult. He was getting pressured. He couldn't get through the choke, and it's cost him. He didn't communicate. He didn't say, "I'm gonna go push the ult, so back me up." And Jacob's managing to take down Myth again. Not doing too bad here for the Lex himself. Oh, a nice bomb from Zeb to get rid of 4 April. Human Radio getting rid of Jacob. And this is looking to be quite a decent push. Human Radio takes down Online Hero. So there's no Drogos there, no aerial threat. Bomb King is escaping, Zev backing off, Fernando backing off, Ying backing off. And they're going to have to regroup. They got a minute and 10 seconds to get a decent push in. It could happen. They were in the same position last time out, and Kings had a pretty effective defense. So we'll just need to see if they can pull off that defense again, and then see if they can get the next point.
Most certainly, but Kings, yet again, just able to provide the goods with a solid defense. Myth's gone a little bit aggressive again, but it just seems to continue to be paying off for him.
Well, when you're as good of a player as Myth is, you can afford to be a bit aggressive here, because he can 1v1 pretty much everyone on the side of Wildfire. Jacob, he is pretty evenly contested. Jacob is giving Myth a run for his money. As you can see, they're getting pressured, and he has to back off. Jacob hunts him down. He says, "No, you are not getting away." And then Soch does the same thing, hooks him in and picks him off. And this is probably going to the side of Kings, because I don't foresee Wildfire using any ults. Kings are full stacked on theirs, so if Wildfire do use ults, they're going to be in a huge disadvantage next round, and they're not going to. There goes 7-8er, and Fernando is going to get taken out eventually. He's close. There goes Jacob. It's Nando who's going to go down, and that is going to be a nice play for Kings, getting the defense in pretty much the same spot as it was last time.
Wildfire probably could have taken that, to be honest. I feel that maybe their targeting was a little bit off, because I noticed that all the targets were getting quite low health, but no one was really able to finish them off in the end there. So maybe some miscommunication issues on their side.
Yeah, quite possibly. And I think the ultimates, they do play a big factor, because Wildfire, they want to be as conservative as possible. See, you haven't seen Kings use an ult where no one else used them. Well, at least I haven't seen it.
5, 4, 3.
They all use their ults, and if they all hold, then they all hold. It's very well done by them, because when you have 5 ults all used at once, it is so much more effective than 5 individual ults all used at different times. And there comes the Pip ult and the Victor ult. And Maldumba's ult is probably going to get popped soon, perhaps. There goes Stez, Soch, and Myth also getting taken down. There goes the Maldumba ult, as I was calling out before. Makoa and Androxa still need to use their ult for the side of Kings, but they're both dead right now. There goes Jacob. Point is fairly even. We do have Wildfire, they're retaining some dominance here. We still have some ults to use up. Makoa Androxus on the side of Kings. Fernando, Bomb King, and Lex. There goes the Androxus one. Managed to get rid of Online Hero. Myth is in a very strange position. He's probably going to get taken out. But there goes Stairs. There goes Braxius. And I think that Myth on the Androxus snuck up behind him and was almost used as he was kind of bait. He was a bit of a distraction, because I saw a few of them turn around, and then in came his teammates. The rest of Kings decided, no, you're not going to get rid of my boy Myth. And they all managed to stay alive. There goes the Makoa ult, just try and force them back, demount them. And this is going to be King's game. There it is.
And game 1 goes to Kings.
That
Very
was
well
actually
played on both sides.
Yeah, it was a lot closer than I would have thought. Kings, very, very dominant team. And I would have expected almost a 4-0, but Wildfire showing that, they do have some competition. Jacob especially impressed me. I haven't seen a lot of his gameplay, but proving that on the Lex, he can be quite deadly.
Most certainly. And it was strange to see Istez playing a tank rather than what he's mostly known for is playing flankers. So
I've just had a look at the brackets and seen that Forfeit has 2-0'd Mediocre Mafia, so they're automatically going to get put into the semi-final. But that's the only result I've seen so far. Team X beating Intoxicated. Just having a look at that match, I just want to see Team X's roster actually and see who they've got going for them. They got Mitchell Zambi, Zas Smithy, Blade of Shakura's Justendo. I'm not honestly sure who half of these people are. I know Zambi, I know Mitchell, but hopefully we can spectate one of their games. They're about to verse Avant-Garde. That's going to be a tough match for them. But Benno is back, and hopefully we can get this next game up and running properly.
Yeah, just towards the end there, I actually managed to get it working just fine. I had to fast forward from 0-0, and I ended up catching up pretty much by the end of the game there.
We'll have a spectate on Myth is the person that I'm going to go for, and the lobby should be set up fairly shortly. Any post-game thoughts on that match there, Benno? Because we didn't get to hear you.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised the Wildfire were able to put up a fight, such a fight. We here in the call we're expecting a pretty much 4-0 from Kings, but Wildfire came out, and as you were talking about their new pickup, J-Quip, just seemed to really show up today and proving to Oceania that they are here and they are a good enough team.
Yeah, in the state that the OCE Paladin scene is in, with Kanga, Kings, and Avant being probably the three most dominant teams, but having Wildfire coming in and they've taken some points off of Kings, and not too long ago we saw them take some points off of Avant, which it's not an easy task to do. Kings and Avant, both teams that have been around for a while, both strong teams. So Wildfire could be a potential fourth place in OCE. We'll have to see them play a bit more, and we can further determine whether they do deserve that fourth place spot.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be interesting to just see how the PCCL, the local Australian league, is going to work out in the Gold League now that Wildfire have been able to prove that they can maybe take a map or two off these top teams and see if they're going to be able to maybe even sneak into top 3 if they get 1 or 2 upset wins.
I have just seen something in chat that has shown Valkyrie taking the first map against Royals, the game that we unfortunately couldn't manage to stream because 784 people were all having problems with that match, and this lobby has just started up. We're going to have the first pick for the side of Kings. I'm going to say possibly an Androxus or a Drogos. We have some strong Androxus and Drogos players on either side, so that's probably going to be the next pick. Yep, there we go, coming out from Jacob. And Online Hero might take the Makoa. We'll have to wait and see.
I am going to predict the Makoa here. I don't see them taking much else here. I do think that they should be able to take the Makoa here and just start to build their draft and see what Kings come back. And they're actually going to lock in the Victor there, which is a pretty good pick to counter the Drogos, just to get a bit of range and a bit of lengthy damage onto that Drogos.
But at the same time, they're also sacrificing that Makoa pick, which can be a game changer. Soch on that Makoa did reasonably well, and if Kings have the Makoa and the Maldambra, it looks like, then they have their 2 core players sorted, because Myth, 4 April, and Flexi, they can all play a variety of champions. So having Makoa and Maldamba, 2 very, very strong picks in the meta, is only going to benefit them.
And we're actually going to see a hover of Grover and Pip, and they're actually going to lock it in on the side of Wildfire, and that's going to mean that they're going to pick up their tank with their last pick, which is probably their best option. What do you think, LeBoy, about these 2 picks?
Yeah, Braxius on the Grover We did nickname him the Jungle Man, I think a few weeks ago in PCCL, and you know he did live up to his reputation. He was quite the Jungle Man on that Grover. Did prove to be, you know, Grover isn't a joke pick. He can be used quite effectively, and Pip. It's going to be interesting to see if they're used in a healing way or more of a DPS way, and they're going to finish off with the Fernando, I'm guessing. Meanwhile, Charlene and Cassie both get picked for Kings. Now, Drogo, Charlene, Cassie, 3 top-tier DPS players. We'll have to see who goes on them because they're all quite good on these champs.
Not a surprise seeing Myth93 going onto that Cassie. He is pretty well known for his Cassie. And also for April going on to that Drogo's, and the DPS picks here from on the side of Kings are quite decent, and they're very comfort picks for each of their players.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see Zev actually taking up the Pip role because they had Bomb King free, and he is quite a solid Bomb King. So maybe they are going to use this Pip in a double healing type manner just to establish a bit more dominance on that point, you know, have a bit more control. And he can slow, Grover can cripple, so maybe they're going to just try and maybe bait out some resilience picks.
And we're going to see that the map is going to be Stone Keep here. Grover is quite strong on this map with the long corridors in the game, and it'll be very interesting to see just what this double healer pick, and we'll actually see soon enough if we look over at the loadouts. It looks like he has gone with actually a healing build. He has actually gone with heal build Pip, so will not be damage, or it'll just be straight up heal build.
Yeah, we'll pause it in 10 seconds at 70 again, and hopefully it'll be good to us this time.
I'm there now.
Guys, I'm paused there now, so if everyone's ready, I'll count us in.
Go ahead.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. 9, 8, 7.
Yep, we are good.
And best of luck, guys.
We got some nice range on either side, Grover, but obviously Charlene and Cassie do have that counter sniping potential to eliminate the threat from the Braxius himself, the Jungle Man. Gonna see how Jacob uses this Andro though, because if he isn't too careful and if he doesn't sneak up enough, he's just gonna get outranged. So he really needs to use that close control to the best of his ability.
Yeah, indeed. And we're going to see the capture point. We're going to see the capture point spawning in about 3 seconds. And
3 seconds.
Sorry, 1 second.
10 seconds.
Oh my god, you're joking me.
Matt, what are you at?
4, 3,
Currently, I'm
2,
at 47, 48, 49,
49.
50.
So am I.
in.
54, 55,
Oh my god.
56. Are you a bit too ahead there, Benno?
It's also bugged out on me.
First blood. An enemy
Oh,
has
that's
drawn
not
first
too
blood.
good. I'll do some casting and we'll see if you can get your stream fixed again.
Yeah.
But yeah, Matt, if you want to just join me out and help me until Ben gets his back up and running.
No worries, and Mr. Flexi managing to get the first initial pick for his team, trying to do what he can to keep Wildfire off the point, almost manages to get the pick onto the ends. Roxas, that is Jaquib, but both of them forced to back out as they're such low HP. And it seems Miss 93 has got the pick onto the Jaquib. Both teams getting picks on each other, left, right and center, one by one. The Jungle Man himself finally being taken down by Bowser,
Enemy double
Soch.
kill.
And Kings are just starting to come out on top here.
Overtime.
Yeah, we are. Yes.
Enemy killing spree.
Who called my name?
Escort the payload.
No, I was just
Stop the payload.
saying.
Oh! Yeah, we I thought that point could have actually been contested by Wildfire there, but yeah, apparently not. They did push in at the last second. In Kings, they held their ground pretty well. Now it's going to be interesting to see which part they push from here. See, Jacob kind of maintaining that high ground, going for a bit of a flank with Victor. There goes the Cassie ult, which, you know, I was talking last game, oh, and there goes Victor off the edge of the map with a disengage. But I was talking last game about how they generally, talking about Kings, better to generally keep their ults and use them all at once, but the Cassie is a bit of an exception because it's not exactly a team ult. You can't combine it with many things, and by the time the next round begins, they're probably going to have it back. And yeah, Myth is just having no remorse here, forcing them all the way back into their spawn. Soch even getting up there as well. Jacob trying to dash on the spawn, gets hooked off. Makoa says, no, we are having this point. There goes the Pip ult just to try and force them back. So Wildfire are going to be low on ults next round. 4Apple does use his to get rid of Fernando. This is complete opposite to what we saw last game. We saw no ults getting popped. Kind of, they all use them together, but now they're just using them left, right, and center. They're saying, no, we don't want teamwork. We're going to go ahead and do this our own way.
Certainly, they're having none of that, forcing Kings back, and hopefully Wildfire will be able to maintain the pressure that they just put on Kings for the rest of this push.
Yeah, there goes the Victor ult to try and force them back a little bit more, maybe a bit early. They still have 50 seconds to do this, and even with that Victor ult, maybe setting them back for what, 5 seconds, they can still do this. And Flexi with a nice long range kill into Jacob. So we're going to see if they're going to push this. They're slowly getting it closer. There goes the Maldamba ult to force them off. Could that be the decisive factor? Maldamba using his ult very effectively, combined with Charlene's there. Flexi and Soch going to absolute town. There goes Jacob, no matter how much they tried to stall. Kings said, no, we are having this point. They sacrificed ults to do it, but they got the result.
And definitely that's showing heavily. Wildfire may have the ult advantage at the moment, so they may be able to still stay in this game, but we'll just see how Kings responds to
Point spawning in 15
the ult
seconds.
advantage on Wildfire's side.
What is the timestamp you guys are currently?
4:38, 9,
39,
40,
40.
1, 2,
I'm at 4:33.
3, 2.
We can pause at
Pause.
450 if you want.
Yeah.
I'm at 4:49.
I'll pause
50.
at 4:50.
450. Yeah, are we all good?
Yep.
Alright, I'll count us in then. 3, 2, 1, go. 1, 2, 3.
Yep, I'm good.
Good luck.
Hopefully your game stays up running nicely there, Ben.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hope it. Yeah.
Yeah, Paladins, we've all had a bit of issues here and there. So we are going to see Kings taking the 2 first picks. Some nice ones there from Myth and from Flexi. Braxis is behind Myth. Will he get the kill? Could have gotten it there, but there he goes. Flexi getting taken out by Braxis eventually.
Meanwhile, Jaquib is gonna get taken out by 4 April's. Quite a dominating thing there from Kings again.
Yeah, we do have some high pressure coming up here. 4 April was getting a bit far forward, maybe trying to get some cheeky dismounts. But this is probably going to go to the favor of Kings. I don't see Wildfire going too far out with this push. Yep, they're going to stay back. They're going to hold the ground. They're going to let them have the point. Braxius being Jungle Man, flying himself in there on his Tarzan rope.
Hold down.
Payload. Stop the payload.
Androxus is quite low there, and I wonder.
Enemy double kill.
He's gonna get 2. He's gonna pick up Mr. Flexi. Gonna get a triple
Enemy
kill.
killing spree.
Meanwhile, 4 April just shuts him down there, and that was a very good play there from Androxus.
Yeah, very nice indeed. 4 April though, staying alive. He's not being pressured at all right now by Grover. And there comes the rest of Kings to back him up. Sox taking down Online Hero. Braxius Slow gets taken down by Flexi. Myth getting rid of Zev. There goes the Makoa ult. Stez is backing away here, trying to get out of there with that's Fernando. Gets taken down, hunted by 4 April.
And after a slide upside from Wildfire, it looks like Kings are just gonna roll through here. Try and get some cheeky dismounts up the top there from 4 April. Myth 93 is going to pick up Online Heroes Victor, and this is
again knocking off the edge. That's the second time in a row. If I were Online Hero, I'd probably be taking the hint and maybe not standing so close to the edge when he's fighting against Myth, or else that's going to keep happening. Flexi getting rid of Braxius here, as the point is edging itself closer and closer. Wildfire scared to leave their spawn.
Now Dumper even has ult, so even if they get close, he can just throw up.
There goes the pip ult. They're going to go for a last second push. Drogo's using his, and Fernando
That's
popping
5
his,
in a row.
and there we go, it goes down.
Rampage.
Raxis using his as well,
Killing
but the
spree.
Cauterize stops it, and a nice shot from Forepool to pick it up, making the game 4-0, and that is the 2-0 game advantage and win for King. So they'll be pushing on to the next round, and they'll be playing against the winner of Avant and Team X.
Yeah, just that game seemed like Kings just flicked a switch. Honestly, like in the first game, it was more wild. It was more just scared fights from Kings, but now it seemed like they got their confidence up and just really got those picks and really pushed on Wildfire.
And I think it's almost time that we can actually hop straight into the next game. Human Radio has gone offline though, but the Valk Royals game is almost over, but Avant versus Team X, I think might already be halfway through. We're going to have to see what is going on. The bracket it's not updating yet, so yeah, we'll have to see what game we're casting next, because no matter which game it is, it's going to be interesting. We're going to see some good players playing.
Yes, indeed, and currently waiting on the outcome of Royals versus Valkyrie. And the winner of that is going to go on to fight Kanga, and honestly, it's looking like it's just going to set up a forfeit versus Kanga in the semi-finals. Meanwhile, on the other side, it looks like it could be... It looks like Kings are obviously going through the semis as they just did, but Team X versus Avant-Garde, Team X 2-0'd Intoxicated, and Intoxicated is not a bad team.
No, they're not at all. They did manage to get taken out. So that's odd, because I haven't seen this Intoxicated or Team X play. They're both fairly new-ish teams. So maybe that was just the one-off from Intoxicated, because they have some nice players. So perhaps the Team X just caught them off guard this time around. We'll have to see what happens in future games between them.
Yeah, it'll be pretty good to see how much of a fight Team X can put up to Avant-Garde, because I can't exactly say, I can't speak for LeBoy, but from my personal experience, I haven't actually seen Team X play very much.
Yeah, neither have I, but apparently they're still going, and I'm not entirely sure if Avant and Team X is worth having a look at. But Royals Valkyrie's game apparently has just ended, which means that we might be able to get the winner of them versus Kanga and stream that, considering that jumping into a Team X Avant halfway through mightn't be the wisest decision.
Yeah, indeed. We don't have that many options to go unless we want to wait a little bit and wait for Avant-Garde to finish and then stream Avant-Garde v Kings in the semi-final.
Yeah, we could do. We'll just have to see which games are up first, because that Kings versus Avant game would be a very, very nice one to get on stream here. But if it's going to take too much time, we might have to go straight into Kanga versus either Royals or Valkyrie. I'm still not updated on the winner of that.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Well, we have 159 viewers, so I'm hoping confirm for us who actually just won that match.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Hayes here to see who won, because he'll know better than we did, because we aren't being updated on this kind of stuff. We're seeing what you guys see. So Valk is currently 3 out of 4, capping the point now on the second map. So this could be a Valk Kanga game that we are going to see shortly. Hopefully within the next 5 or so minutes, we could get that match up and running, so we could see some of the Kanga guys on the big screen. The OCE reps for the last few tournaments, they've been proving that OCE is we're not a joke. We do have some top tier players, and yeah, we are to be taken seriously by EU and NA.
Yes, indeed. Well, when they went to Masters, they didn't perform poorly over there. They managed to have some really, really contested games over there, and it was really good to see Oceania finally in a sport in an esport, putting up a real fight to the powerhouses of NA and EU.
Yeah, definitely. So hopefully this Valkyrie game can get finished quickly there. Unfortunately, Royals is probably going to get knocked out 2-0. But yeah, if Royals ended up versus Kanga, it wouldn't have been. I mean, no matter who versus Kanga out of Royals and Valk, it's going to be probably a 2-0 wipe from Kanga. Let's. I'm not trying to hate on Royals and Valk. Both got some very extraordinary players, but Kanga are top notch. They are one of the best teams in the world, undoubtedly. Some great players, some great individuals, great teamwork. They've been together for a long time, both through Overwatch and through Paladins. They're all good mates, so they have just a huge advantage over the rest of the OCE teams.
Yeah, well, they've secured that when they managed to secure 4th place at Masters. That was just a top effort from them, and as I was saying before, it's really good to see OCE putting up a fight, and it'd be better to see games in this setting, in this path to Dreamhack. It'd be really good to see some competitive games between Kanga and any other team. It'll be good to see if maybe Avant or maybe Kings could take a map off them.
Yeah, well, Hayes has just informed me that the lobby is up for Valkyrie to join in. They have Kanga's members are all in there waiting. So once Valkyrie's members get in there, we'll have the match going. They got 9 out of 10. So if you're spectating someone, the match will be up any minute.
Who should I spectate?
I just spectated Hayes because he's the one that set up the lobby.
What's his username? Is it just HAYDZ? Did you say yes?
Yes, HAYDZ. Yes,
Got
1,
it.
2, 3.
Too easy. Spectating Hayes' current match, and we should be getting into that very. You've got to, with any game with Kanga in it, you have to do nothing but expect that Kanga should be able to win with their talent and their communications and their teamwork. You would expect that they would be able to beat most teams in the OCE scene.
Me and Matt are both having a little discussion here, and your mic does drop out here and there, so that might be something. I thought it was just something happening on my end, but
I can actually fix it. I'll actually change my right here.
Yeah, it's
I just got a wired headset. It's probably something to do with my wireless headset, so I'll just quickly change to a wired one, and I'll be back soon.
all right. So while he's gone here, the lobby should be set up. We're waiting on a couple of players from Valkyrie to get ready in this lobby. They have 8 out of 10 waiting. I'm just going to try and refresh the bracket to see if we have any other scores going up here. Team X and Avant, we haven't seen any results there. We have still Forfeit waiting, and we still have Kings waiting in the semi-finals. So the winner of Kanga and Valkyrie will get put against Forfeit, and the winner of Avant versus Team X will get put against Kings.
And I believe I'm back.
Yes, you are. We have 9 out of 10 in the Hayes Valkyrie Kanga lobby. So in any minute, yep, that lobby's just gone now. So we should be getting into a game very, very shortly.
Just quickly relaunching Paladins because it glitch out on me, because Paladins always does.
Select
There we
your
go.
champion.
I'm in the lobby, so I'll just give the guys a quick rundown. On the red side, we have Kanga. On the blue side, we have Valkyrie. Valkyrie is going to be able to take the first pick here, and they have to be very, very, very careful, because no matter what they pick, they're still going to give so many options to Kanga. Bugs hovering the Bomb King. There we go. So that means that Didge can't play Bomb King, but when you are a player of Didge's caliber who has such a wide range of champions that he can play effectively, not being able to play Bomb King isn't going to make him cry. He's going to say, nope, I'm going to take someone that's going to make you cry.
Yeah, as I'm loading into Paladins now, Hades is a player that, well, you've got to call him a flex, just with the experience and the talent that he has on a wide variety of champions. I wouldn't expect that a Bomb King pickup from Valkyrie would do anything to affect his state of mind here in this champion select.
Yeah, we have Drogos and Makoa coming out for Kanga. Not sure he's going to be on the Drogos because him, Joel's, Chronic, and Josh are all very, very good Drogo players. Not one that that you'd see on Chronics or maybe Joel's, but I'm probably going to say that Dig might stick on the Drogo. We have Charlene and Androx coming out for Valkyrie. Miriyama is quite good on that Androxus, so perhaps taking that was a good selection. Xylos hovering the Pip, actually, as Joel's and Chronics lock in Maldumba and Ruckus. We actually have seen Chronics playing Ruckus quite a bit, and he does play him very, very effectively. So having that point control with him and Hades on the Makoa, along with the Maldumba, that's just going to be complete point dominance. And Xylos actually hovering Ceres and Inara, two picks they're first time picks that we have that we've seen in PCCL and in CG. It's going to be interesting to see how these guys actually work.
Yeah, I got my first look at a competitive Ceres last night, actually.
We have Victor coming out from Joel's, Dig on the Drogo. A lot people are going to probably get triggered at me for saying his name is Dig and not Diggy, but I'm going to call him Dig because it sounds less ridiculous than Diggy. Josh on the Maldumba, it's painful because a DPS player of his caliber getting thrown onto a support is heartbreaking. VPi on Shah, Lin, Godtrick, Bomb King, Bugs, Inara. That's an odd one for me because I don't know of a lot of skilled Inara players, but we're gonna see how Bugs does.
Yeah, I'm now getting into game now, and I'm finally seeing the lineups on both sides, and I guess it's...
Yeah, I'm in the game now, and it's going to be on Frog Isle, and yeah, so we have some very, very nice picks on both sides. All the champs that they've been selecting can work well on this map. You know, they got Splash on either side, got some range on either side with the Charlene and the Victor.
Was it 70?
Yes, pause at 70, so in 15 seconds.
And
81, 80,
Yep.
79.
Just pause at 70, and before we get into this, we've just had a question from Myth93 wondering if we want them to wait for us to finish up here to also cast their game.
That'll be Kings versus who?
Personally, I'm not entirely sure, but
I think it's going to be Avant. TMX has confirmed that the result was 0-2, and I'm going to assume that was in Avant's favor. Yeah, it is going to be Kings and Avant. So, it depends on how quickly these Kanga matches go, to be honest.
yeah.
We could get them to wait, perhaps.
I suggest waiting. I suggest waiting for the first two, or to see if Kanga could just steamroll 2-0 here, and just see then we'll tell them to wait or tell them to go.
I'll ask Smith now how long he's prepared to wait.
Because I understand that a lot of people don't have all night, have work the next day, etc. So obviously, if they want to just get through it, then that's fine with me. If they have commitments and stuff,
Perhaps we could do maybe just one of Kanga's matches and then jump on to see Kings and Vant. But we'll get this one started now. So if you want to count us in.
all right. Well, I'll count us in now. 3, 2, 1, go, and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
We are good.
All right.
Actually,
cool.
I think I'm a second behind.
Ugh.
A second's not going to really matter too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
too easy.
It could just be voice delay, who knows.
True. And the capture point is spawning.
In 45, 44, 43.
And I am good to go here.
Digdog picking up the Fusillade Legendary instead of Wormjets. I'm still yet to see some Wormjets getting picked up. It is a very, very nice card. And I'm not sure what Dig is doing here with the Bulldozer. I'm not entirely sure if he thinks that the totem from Inara is going to be that much of a threat. but perhaps it will be. I suppose it's a pick that, you know, it's not one that you see all the time, but
5,
it
4,
could be useful. And the
3,
game's going to get
2,
underway in 2 seconds. Capture point is going to be
and
available, and the teams are out on their
begins.
horses. Hayes with the master rating though, so he's going to be taking the lead. He's going on to the point. He is there already. And we're going to see who gets the first pick here, because the first pick can often decide the map. There we go, Joel's getting the first pick. Hayes overextending quite a bit, and he gets the kill actually. Well, he helps out Joel's with the kill. There goes VPie with some 2 nice ones, and Andrew gets taken down there by Joel's. Joel's doing really, really well, showing that he is indeed a Grandmaster Victor.
Sorry, it did the thing again.
Enemy killing
It's
spree.
bugging out.
Enemy double
Matt, so
kill.
you want to jump in and help?
So VP's just managed to get a couple of nice picks for his team. Hopefully he'll be able to continue that momentum for his team to hopefully take a point off Kanga.
Yeah, Miriyama here doing not bad as well. It looks like Kanga they've been pushed back off the point, but we know how they are. They don't let these points go down easily. They will get back. They will show why they are the best team in OCE, and I'm feeling like they're gonna get on this point any minute now. There we go. Hayes coming in. Dij forcing them back. There goes Dij though. Miriyama getting a nice pick. He's overextended himself a bit though. Gets rid of Joel's too.
Rampage.
There we go. VPie taking down Hayes. Chronix getting rid of Yug. So it's just Chronix and Josh have to back out, and Chronix is gonna go down. Kanga they're gonna drop this first point. This is unheard of.
Payload. Stop the
Valkyrie, look at them go.
I'm sure that most people wouldn't have expected Valkyrie to get a single point off Kanga, so this is definitely an achievement. Certainly. We'll have to see what Kanga does in order to defend against this.
Yeah, I think that maybe it was just they might have just been a bit sloppy, you know, thinking it could be an easy 3-0 kind of a public game type stomp. But evidently not, because Val have taken a point,
Enemy
but
double
perhaps the
kill.
point is the only thing they're going to be able to get this game, because they have some solid defense from Kanga coming out. They did have to pop that Naldamba ult, and Androx also popped his ult. So I got a minute 40 left, so they could potentially try and contest for another push. They have the time to for sure, but whether they want to stack some ults, you know, just sit back, save up, or not, only time will tell.
I'm gonna try and rejoin. What timestamp are you left at this point?
337, 38, 330, 40.
1, 2, 3. Yeah. We have 4 ults on the side of Valkyrie, so if they do want to commit to this push as hard as they possibly can, then they may opt to just combine their ults together and just fully commit to it. However, Kanga have 3 ults, and here comes the barrage from
Enemy
Joel's.
killing spree.
Not really managing to hit anyone with it, so it's going to be a wasted ultimate. Chronix making up for it though, getting some great picks towards a couple of the DPSs on the Valkyrie side. Hayes managing to get a pick as well, and Kanga's just picking them apart here, LeBoy.
This is what I mean, the steamroller that is Kanga Esports. Once they get that first pick, they have no mercy, and they want to clean up the rest of the team as quickly as possible, get them staggered. And there goes Bomb King. See, this is what I mean with staggering. He was overextended, he got punished for it, and now Valkyrie aren't going to have a shot at this. Miriyama got behind him again, making his team suffer, getting staggered. And this is going to be a solid hold from Kanga, showing us what they can really do. Hopefully this next point they can actually take, because they are a team that, you know, they shouldn't be losing points to Valkyrie. They're a top tier team.
Okay, I believe I can rejoin now. Are you guys captures point morning?
Yeah, 5, 10, 11, 12.
Do you want us to pause somewhere for you? Or
Nah, I should be okay. I'm at 16, 17,
19,
18.
20.
Yeah,
19.
we're just a few seconds ahead, just maybe 3.
I'm at 25, 26,
27.
Alright.
Yep,
We're
okay,
good.
we're all
Good luck,
good.
guys.
We have
Alrighty.
4 ults on either side. We're missing out on the Andro and Victor ult. Whether
5,
all the ults are going to get
4,
popped or not,
3,
I
2.
don't think so. I think that perhaps Valkyrie are going to be a bit more conservative because once Kanga use 1 or 2 ults, then they have that point on lock pretty easily. Hayes gets stunned straight away, and then he gets stunned again! He gets taken down. That was 2 stuns back to back, making him completely immobile. Didge though, saying no, he's getting a nice kill. A very, very nice triple. He's trying to hunt down VPI as well. He's missing a few shots, not being able to get him down. Xylos though, can he get the hunt? He is almost going to get rid of VPI. There he goes, gets rid of VPI.
And Chronix is going to take down Xylos, and there's a bit of a stagger just starting to come in for Valkyrie, and it looks like Kanga should be able to, for a team of theirs here, they should be able to hold off Valkyrie on this point here.
Oh, indeed. Chronix has been a bit sneaky here, sliding around the corner, just waiting for the drop, as Xylos does make. Hughes gets taken down, and this is going to be Kanga's point in a matter of seconds. He's going to hold on to it.
A stagger here from Valkyrie. Actually, an ult coming out from Hades just to make sure they secure that point. As Kanga decided to chase them back, and that is going to be the point for Kanga, and this is the Kanga that we should be seeing.
It is indeed. And they're going to keep getting staggered if they're not careful. Just like I said, Buke gets taken down. The rest of his team, though, they're just falling back. There goes VPI again. Just staggering. Once they get staggered once, they get staggered for good. Joel's getting rid of Godstrek. And if Valkyrie aren't careful, it's going to be just trickling in one at a time, over and over and over. And look at the pressure. They're not even letting them escape. Kanga are ruthless. They are not going to be nice in situations like this. Once you take 1 point away from them, they really step their game up. And there goes the Miriyama. Androx gets taken down though. A bit of a waste. And the steamroller is going to keep on rolling.
It's like Bomb King. Godstrek is trying to peek around there, and Xylos actually manages to go down, and Godstrek gets taken out by Chronix, and that is going to be the point with a bit of a moat spam there coming out from Chronix. And this is pretty much what I expected to happen from minute number 1, but Valkyrie came out of the gates firing, but now this is where Kanga are making sure they assert their dominance.
Yeah, it is indeed, and I'm in the same position you were a few games ago where I'm looking at water. I haven't pressed any buttons, but I can still lock onto players, but hopefully does get fixed up in a matter of seconds when the capture point spawns in.
15 seconds.
If it doesn't, Matsy can just come in with me while we can see, like, this is why we needed 3. Sub out.
5, 4.
Are you at
3,
2,
1.
Yep. Are you locked onto a player, or are you just...
Oh, I'm locked into a player. I'm just staring at water, though, for some reason.
Okay, well, I'm going to start this off, and it looks like we're going to see Kanga get right onto the point. Miriyami is going to go around the back of Kanga here, and Godtrik's going to get picked off by Chronix, and Barrage is going to be incoming here from Joel's. Looks to take Valkyrie very low here. Miriyami is, again, behind the team, doing practically nothing for his team. VP, he's getting picked off by Joel's, and this is just going to be a stagger again, and it looks like this is going to be map number 1 to Kanga.
And I am back. I managed to fix it. It was, I think it was one of the asterisks or the minus sign on the numpad.
That is exactly what has been happening to me, and that is exactly how it's happening. We're going to get right back into game. Xylos gets picked off, and Hades managed to get him. Bukes is a Nara, but at the exact same time, VP's Charlene's going to get a pick onto Victor. Godtrek's going to go down to Digi, and that is going to be game number 1 over to the side of Kanga. GG.
There we go, and indeed, we might be able to get into this Avant Kings game, because seeing Kanga are probably going to take the next map. So I'll see if Myth is ready to go. I'll have a look and see if there is a Avant Kings lobby. There is not, but I will try and spectate one of their players.
I will try and spectate Myth.
It's got a message in chat. They haven't actually started yet, so we can probably get into their game if you guys want to, guys.
Yeah, I'm very happy to get onto that game.
Yeah, I've asked if Myth is ready to go, so hopefully that match can get underway.
I've chucked a spectate on Myth. They're making the lobby now, so we will be into the Avant versus Kings game shortly.
And yeah, just summing up that Valkyrie versus Kanga first map, just Kanga, they slipped up early and they got punished for it because Valkyrie is not a bad team, but they came back very angry and they really wanted to make sure they asserted that they are the top team in Oceania, and they seem to be able to prove it right there.
Yeah, as I said, they are a steamroller. It's a boulder going down a hill. Once it starts rolling, it can't be stopped. It just needs that initial push to get the ball rolling. And they got that first point. Well, Valkyrie got the first point, but once Kanga got their point, once they got on the scoreboard with the successful defense, Valkyrie just didn't seem to have a chance. They kept getting staggered. They lost communication, and Kanga capitalized on it very effectively.
I don't want to single anyone out, but it seemed like whenever Miriami went he wasn't keeping enough communication with his team, and his team weren't there to support him as he was trying to flank around and get a healer or get a DPS on the side of Kanga, and Kanga just turned around and absolutely blasted him at that point.
Yeah, the Kings versus Avant lobby is being created. So with the Valk and Hades. Valk has set up lobby there, so we'll have to see which lobbies go. We're still waiting on a Valk player to get into that game, but we are going to be heading on to the Kings Avant, because I'm sure we're going to be seeing Kanga playing again in the semis against Equinox. Oh no, Forfeit, I believe, yes. So Forfeit have been waiting patiently for a while now, because they had the bye first time round. They beat Mediocre Mafia, and now they have just been waiting because they had issues with Royals Valkyrie. Let's not go back into that. That was painful. But the lobby for Kings...
quickly mention something. I don't believe Mediocre is actually brand new, just called straight Mediocre.
Having a look at some of their players...
Mediocre Mafia was the team that now is Royals, and that was the team name that they took before they changed to Royals. So I don't see why Mediocre would just all of a sudden take that.
Yeah, Mediocre, I think they're actually a new team because they have some new players in their lobby there. So yeah, it might not be Mediocre Mafia, but yeah, your mic is still cutting out a bit here and there. So I think I can do this loading screen here if you want to fix your mic up a bit. But we have
I'll look to.
Yeah, we have Avant on the blue side, and we have Kings on the red side. Just looking at the screen, you just see 10 very outstanding players in OCE. Turles, aka Tadashi, Lineberg, Corlan, Rice, and Kunt. And then we have Soch, Flexi, Myth, Human Radio for April. Makoa first picked by Avant, and then Kings respond by taking the Andro and the Drogo. We're going to have to see which picks come out next here from Avant. I'm probably predicting... Yeah, we got a Bomb King and a Ruckus. Are they going to attempt to take Avant? Not Avant. They're going to take Kanga's strategy. So they're going to take the Ruckus. So they're going to give Maldamba away to Kings. Now, I would have suggested Avant probably taking the Maldamba away, because that is Human Radio's... That's pretty much his strongest champ. He is very dominant. They're going to take the Fernando as well. They probably didn't need to, considering that the Avant have already taken 2 tanks. So they're probably not going to take a 3rd tank. They're going to take the Ying, and I'm probably going to say either a Cassie or perhaps a Charlene. Yeah, there's the Cassie, Rice hovering it. And is he going to select it? Charlene wouldn't be a bad choice, but it's all automatically it's up to him. And there, he's going to lock in the Cassie. And then, yeah, Fropo was going to pick up that Charlene. So standard lineups, nothing out of the ordinary except maybe that Ruckus pick. But as Chronic showed us last game, he can make Ruckus work. Going to be probably Coolland on the Ruckus is what I'm going to predict. And then, yeah, maybe Rice will stay on Cassie, or perhaps Lineberg is going to be the ruckus because Kunt is kind of a dedicated healer almost. And Benno, is your mic all back? Oh, he's not even in here anymore.
I'll just talk for a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see how this Avant versus Kings match goes, considering that Soch was a former Avant-Garde member, so...
And we got Benno back in
how
here.
it
Is your
goes.
mic working?
I'm hoping it is. I'm messed around with some Discord settings, and I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see, to be quite honest.
Yeah,
I
so
believe I've been looking it up, and it just says it's seems like it's my voice sensitivity being too high on Discord.
Yeah, quite possibly. We have both lineups sorted out. Map is going to be revealed to us in a short time. Just, oh man, the caliber of these teams. The map, it's going to be Serpent Beach, the nighttime map. This is probably one of my favorite maps in the game. Has some nice aesthetics to it. And since they updated it, because it used to be in the daylight, but I've always preferred this this night version. And the timer should be up any second now. There it is.
I have a timer up.
Now we're gonna have to see what loadouts they go with, what cards they select. We'll pause it at 70 again.
Mm-hmm.
And we got paused.
So,
I'm paused at 70.
alright, I'll count us in now, guys. 3, 2, 1, go. 9, 8, oh,
Oh,
9, 8,
When-
1,
Yep.
2,
Yep.
3, 4.
Yep.
What? Yeah, you're good. Good luck, guys.
Yeah, we are good. We are good. Having a look at we're gonna see Wormjets coming out from 4 April, making me proud. I want to see him flying around the map. Back in the good old days when Drogos used to be a figure skater, and he could glide practically across the entire map. Some standard cards coming out. We have some Wreckers, some Cauterize, Kronos getting picked up there by Tadashi. It's a bit of an interesting one. I wouldn't normally see Makoa rocking Kronos, but we're gonna have to see if that works out for him. Human Radio opting to go with Haven straight off the bat. That is an odd
4,
choice indeed.
3, 2.
Very odd choice, and we're about to be getting into game here, and gonna see if teams are gonna go straight to point or if they're gonna fight on this left side, and looks like it looks like Kings are gonna go straight to point. Meanwhile, Avant
An enemy
just seem
has
to be
drawn
kind of
first blood.
going around the side. Meanwhile, Corland's going to get a pick onto Mr. Flexi. Rice is going to get a pick onto Mount Dumba. Myth is going to fire back with a pick onto the Bomb King.
And this is going to be trades back and forth until eventually one team can establish dominance. It's not quite clear which team that's going to be though, because yeah, as you can see, we can see Tadashi getting rid of Myth, Flexi getting rid of Leinberg. It's just trades on either side. No one really getting a solid wipe. It's just going to be constant trickling, constant back and forth until one team can really establish dominance on the point. So far, Kings leading in point time though, but they keep getting forced off and they keep getting back on, back off.
Myth is going to get a pick onto Corland there. Very important.
Yeah, getting
Linus is
quite
peeking
aggressive.
around the side on King's side, and it looks like Kings have got a slight advantage here.
Kings are going to take this point in a matter of seconds if no one can get another point. I don't think Ivana
They
can
do see, and
contest
they're
this.
actually going to stagger Lionberg's ruckus there. That is a very good move here. You're going to push on to the Ying, and
Escort
that was
the
just
payload.
dominating
Killing spree.
even after they took the point. They're just going to have to regroup here.
Yeah, it was a matter of trickling, which is... I do believe it is a reason as to why a lot of teams do lose these points.
Killing spree.
Because, and it's also one of the things I've noticed why Kanga, they don't lose these points so easily. Because once the team, they start getting picked off, they'll regroup and they need to push in as a group like Kanga do. But as we've just seen, we saw Avant kind of trickling in one by one, and it backfired because Kings take the first point, and they've pushed this payload quite a significant distance. But it's going to be a decent hold so far coming out from Avant.
looks like we're gonna see just a little bit of poking and a little bit of just poking out the other team just to test the limits sort of thing. No team is looking to push crazy in. 3 ults on the side of Equinox, on the side of Kings, sorry, here. And I wonder if they're going to push in with ults.
They're going to have the 5th ult up in a second now, and they have all 5 ults. Cassie used hers, though, for Avant, as Lineberg and Rice managed to pick up some kills. And there goes Myth. And, oh, 4 April almost got away, but Makoa says no and manages to stun while Rice on the Bomb King gets the kill. And Avant are going to hold this reasonably well. Flexi trying to get some picks. Tadashi going for the hook and doesn't manage to get it. And this is going to be a stalemate until eventually one team decides to push the boundaries and go in.
Now we're under a minute here, so I'm keen to see what ultimates, if any ultimates, both the teams use in the fights.
Yeah, look at what Soch is doing here, pushing up quite aggressively. Moldumba's ult gets popped. There goes the Drogo's ult. He hunts down the Ruckus, and the Androxus ult comes out as well. So we have Kings using a few of their ults now, and Rice fires back, getting rid of 4 April. This is going to be a Makoa ult popped as well. This is probably in the favor of Avant, if I was to say. The spawn is right there for them. They do have ult advantage. And there we go. Kumareda goes down, and they used ults. Kings did, but they didn't capitalize on them. I
have to completely agree with you there. They had 5 ultimates with about 45 seconds to go, and they used 3 of them to not much advantage.
Exactly what we were talking about that not too many games ago. How what they did successfully, and the reason why they established dominance over Wildfire was because they used those ults as a team, as a group. 5 ults being used at once is much better than 5 ults being used individually. So yeah, they're playing against their own kind of strategies here.
Yeah, it was very interesting to see a team such as at King's caliber just throwing ults out and just hoping that Valkyrie just misplay. Sorry, that Avant-Garde just misplay, but Avant are a much better team than that, and they disengage as they're using ults, and now they know that they do have the ult advantage here.
We have Ruckus, we have Bomb Kings, and we have Ying's ults. Ying's ults gets popped actually there, so Avant can be a bit more aggressive now. Ooh, although Flexi does take down Tadashi. There goes the Nando ult though to try and keep the rest of his team alive, because he does grant that invulnerability if they're within the radius. And there goes Cool.
Oh my god, and that is a near ace for Avant-Garde, and that happened also suddenly. Human Radio is going to be about 7 seconds behind his team. Bit unlucky there from him, just getting a little bit staggered. Bomb King's going to get no dismounts, unfortunately. Couldn't unload his bombs quick enough, and that was a very... Bomb King's going to dive the Charlene here. He's actually going to pick him up. And Avant-Garde are just proving the team that they are.
Myth though getting one back onto Kroon, so that means no more heals for the side of Avant. They're going to capitalize on it, getting rid of Rice. But Myth, he's going to go down as Lineberg uses that Ruckus quite effectively. And that is Avant going to take the point here, so they're going to be up 2-1. Will they get the push in though will remain to be seen. They don't have any ults left, and Charlene, being played by Flexi, hasn't managed to use his ult yet this game.
Yeah, this is very... Now we're going to get into that point of testing each other again, trying to get some ult charge up, and then there will be that fight again.
There's Rice again, managing to just remain uncontested. He's kind of just sat behind enemy lines, getting some picks off.
Dumba just ulted for no good reason. He ulted about 2 people there, and that was a big mistake, because now they do not have Dumba up. If Avant can actually push up quite far here, Drogos might get picked off here. He's not going to get picked off yet. No one's been able to get the final shot onto him. Droxus Myth out the back. He's going to get picked onto the Cassie.
Rice
is going to get right back.
No one is contesting Rice. He is just wreaking havoc on plays individually. He goes off and he gets them in one-on-one situations where he just uses his raw skill to beat them and get that pick. He is kind of isolated off here to the left though. Whether the rest of his team want to charge on the left with him, I'm not too sure. He's been noticed by Flexi, and if he's not careful, he's going to get hunted down. He is going to get hunted down. That's what I was talking about. When you get isolated in situations like that, you have to be careful. You need to be paying attention that your team isn't behind you. So maybe just bad communication there on Rice's behalf. But it is going to be a complete stalemate while Avant wait until they have their whole team ready.
Some more poke damage coming out here from the side of Kings, and Rice, I wonder if he's gonna be. I wonder if Avant is talking in that con, trying to put a bit of more focus onto Rice, because he seems to be doing a lot of work.
Yeah, he kind of goes off and does his own thing, which it can work because he is quite a good player, but sometimes it can be a bit of a disadvantage to his team, because it is a team game, and no matter how good of an individual you are, if you don't have that teamwork, it's just going to be a detriment. And we have Nando here getting onto that point just to try and stop them. There goes the Charlene ult, popped eventually. We have 3 ults Avant could use if they want to secure this point. And
it looks like they're going to try and push in here. They don't have much health left.
There goes the Nando ult though to try and keep his team alive. He goes down though. Ando pops his ult as well. Lots of ults coming out here from Kings. It's just Myth alive, trying to survive. While Dumbo and Drogo are spawned in, they're getting out of this point really, really quickly. There he goes, getting rid of Cooch, so that means no more heals to Ruckus. Ruckus is so low on health, with no heal left.
Maybe going to go down here. He's going to go down after getting a quick pick. Nando's onto the point. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen here. It looks like Nando might go down.
Double kill.
This is going to be...
going to get a double kill. And
There
this is just going to be staggering. Corlan gets a triple kill. Can he get the quadra? And Turles gets the pick onto 4 April, and that is going to be a full push there from Avant-Garde.
And you can also notice that Avant, they've saved 3 ults. They have Ruckus, Cassie, and Bomb King's ults all to use to try and secure this next point. They stayed so calm, and Ruckus's survivability on that last point is what kept his team alive, because he can use that protective shield on his teammates when they come in to back him up. Whereas Kings, they just kept staggering over and over. I mean, yes, trickling can work in a game like Overwatch when you have stall characters like Mei, but when you're playing with, you got your Androxus, your Charlene, they don't have that get on the point and just hold. They need to group up and stick together if they're going to win these team fights.
Incredibly true, and it looks like they're going to try and go around the back here. Rice by himself here. Looks like he's going to just go in and just ult and just straight up ult. He's going to get picked off by 4 April here. Looks like Mount Dumba is getting pretty low here. He might have to ult. He's going to get ult. He's going to ult and he's going to pick up Cassie.
But Kuhn says no, and he gets him down, so that is no healer for the side of King. Avant in the advantage right now. Soch having to back off. And there we go. We've got Myth coming back in, trying to rain some fire down. And he gets taken out by Kuhn. Kuhn has got 3 in a row right now. Uses got
a triple kill. This is a very good heals work on the side of Avant-Garde. And I'm not even entirely sure what the Kings can do about it. Looks like they can do nothing. And that is going to be a victory over to Avant-Garde. GG.
That was a very, very interesting match indeed, because Kings, they did pick up that first point. But similarly to the Kanga and Valkyrie game, once Avant managed to get that first point back and get that defense, they did a Kanga steamroll.
Yeah, indeed. It just seemed it was great to watch just the skill and the talent on the side of Avant-Garde. These two teams, they have a lot of talent on both sides, and they have a lot of teamwork. Both teams don't have that many people on their team that they do not know very well, and they haven't been on a team with for a while. These teams both have a lot of teamwork, and it showed there that Avant-Garde just had the more class and execution of their plays, able to bait out ults from Kings. I just didn't expect that ult usage would be the downfall there for Kings.
Yeah, that was something that was very prominent in their first match, and is arguably what gave them such a huge advantage, was their communication and how they timed their ults and they worked together. They had, those 5 ult combos, and it could just completely wipe the other team. But maybe poor usage, maybe some lack of communication, getting a bit sloppy after a few games. Hopefully they can pick the game up though and make this next map a little more interesting.
Yeah, indeed. It just seemed to be that lack of communication that you were talking about. They just seemed to be using ults whenever Avant-Garde used an ult, the whole team went in, they used some ults, they got some poke damage off, and they were able to get a couple of picks. Whereas when Kings used ults, there were times where they used ults and then lost 3 people off that.
Yeah, and just a bit of an update. We do have Kanga getting pushed through to the semi-finals, managing to beat Valkyrie 2-0, and they're going to be up against Forfeit. Now, I'm not sure if they've already played their first match or not, but yeah, I'll just try and refresh some of the brackets because their lobby is up. So if we have enough time, we could manage to sneak in a Kanga Forfeit game. But for the time being, I really want to see what happens in this next Avant versus Kings match.
Yes, indeed. I'm having a look at the bracket myself, and Kanga Esports pushing onto the semi-final against Forfeit. Forfeit of, as you mentioned a little bit before in the stream, they've been very patient in waiting for games. They've only had to play one game, and it was against Team Mediocre, which I can only see the 2-0, but I imagine that it was quite a dominating victory. And now it's just going to have to be a game of what can Kings respond with? What can they go back to the drawing board and say, we can fix this, I know what we need to do?
Yeah, well, looking at it from a third-person perspective, as we can, I'd probably suggest if they were to talk about what to improve, it would definitely be the communication of the ults. So if I was a Myth for April, etc., I'd be saying, come on, guys, if I have my ult, you have your ult, let's combine them. Let's work together. 2 ults focusing on one person is going to get rid of him. We get the advantage. We can get some picks to get this push going. And the lobby should be up in a second. Avant Kings players 9 out of 10. We're probably just waiting on one last player to get into this match. Whereas I think the Kanga Forfeit game has gone through and they'll be in the selection screens now. But just waiting on this final player for Avant or Kings to get into the lobby, and we can get the draft started for that.
Yeah, indeed. This game seems like it has the potential to be a lot closer than what Kanga versus Forfeit is going to be, I feel. It's not that we do not want to stream Kanga, it's just we want to be able to stream games that are competitive but at a high level at the same time. And we just feel that streaming this game is just going to be better than streaming the Kanga versus Forfeit game at the current time. Exactly,
because we've just witnessed Kings and their dominance against Wildfire not too long ago, and now to see them themselves getting dominated by Avant, it really is shocking to see because they do have the potential to be a really solid team. We just watched it. Everyone watched it less than maybe half an hour ago, and looking at it now, they just need to get back to that same dominating factor that they had against Wildfire. Those ults, that communication. Because once they get that working for them, they could really contest Avant and maybe pull some points back, maybe even get a game back.
Yeah, this is a team that we're talking about that has proven over the course of their team cycle. They definitely do have that communication. They're a team that has communication levels that are up there with Kanga, up there with the top teams. Like they have been able to prove that they are able to play at this top tier level and worthy of that third seed. But in that game, they just seem to get dismantled, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so curious to see which team goes through and whether or not they could potentially wobble the pedestal that Kanga is sitting so highly on top of.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really keen to see the grand final. There's obviously Forfeit could win the game, but I'm going to stop talking because we just got into Champion Select. Looks like Lionberg on the side of Avant-Garde is going to pick up the Makoa.
We got Kings on the red, who they now have 2 selections. It would probably be in their best interest to maybe take away that Bomb King that Rice was dominating on, or perhaps even the Cassie. But then Oh, we got an Andro and a Drogo's pick, which is... Oh, maybe the Cassie is going to get
Cassie.
selected. Yeah, we got the
Cassie is gonna
Drogo's...
be locked in here, and that's probably just going to go right over to Myth. And the Bomb King is just going to go right back onto the side of... Right and nicely into Rice's hands.
Yeah, that Ruckus again. Lionberg, he did surprise me quite a bit on that Ruckus because he's not really known for being a Ruckus player, not known for being a second tank, but he did prove to be very, very useful. And of all the players in that Avant game, although Rice and Corlin were the standard DPS, I think the low-key MVP, I'd probably give it to Lionberg just because of his survivability and his kind of game sense, knowing I've got teammates coming, I can whack up the shields for them. It benefited his team so much. And we're going to have Maldamba Nando locked in, so very comfortable pick. Soch on the Nando, and he's going to be Human Radio on his Maldamba. No surprises there. And we're going to have Ying for Kunt. Again, not much of a surprise, but this will be the second DPS here that Tadashi picks up, and it's going to be the Androxus, perhaps. It's probably going to get given to Corlan, so Androxus he's quite good, and I see, yes, and it's going to be locked in there as well. I was about to say that Corlan could have picked Canessa, but depending on the map, because he is quite good on Canessa, and this is probably going to be a Charlene pick, knowing Kings, knowing their champion pool.
Yes, indeed, and if it is that Charlene pick, then it'll fit very nicely into this comp.
And it looks like it will be, which I'm going to guess is going to go into the hands of Flexi yet again. This is going to be identical picks, except for the Cassie and Androx are going to get swapped. So Avant is going to be having Courland on that Androxus, I'm guessing. And you're going to have Flexi taking the Drogos, perhaps, and Myth on the Cassie. 4 April on the Drogos. Very nice indeed.
Honestly, looks like the Kings here don't exactly want to fight up right in Avant-Garde's face like they did in Game 1. Because Avant-Garde they've taken a very point control lineup with the Ying, Makoa, and Lionberg's Ruckus, who you were saying is a slight chance for MVP, and I have to agree with you there. His survivability, like, you didn't see him have positional errors that other players on the teams did. It was quite good to see such a great tank player who isn't actually known for being a tank player.
Yeah, and we're going to see Rice taking the Androxus here and Corlan getting put on that Bomb King, which we're going to see how that actually works out, because there was no real issues with Rice on the Bomb King, other than perhaps his positioning. He was good to get into, maybe 80% of his positions, but just occasionally he did get caught out, like when he was on Sundial and he got hunted down. But that's probably going to be something that's going to get worked on with experience, and we will pause it in 7 seconds when it hits 70 again.
We'll be a couple of seconds behind you, but yeah, we will pause on 70 indeed.
Yep, I'm paused.
I just have to wait, and I am there now.
Alright, I'm on 70 now. You guys ready to count in?
Am indeed.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. 9, 8,
50,
9,
49,
8,
48.
7, 6.
Yep.
Yeah.
We are good.
Good luck, guys.
Now this is going to be the same map that Kings actually won on the previous game against Wildfire. So if they can maybe use the map advantage, they might have a bit more knowledge on this map, might have a bit better callouts than on that Serpent Beach.
Yes, indeed, and I'm going to have a quick look over at 4 April's Drogos. WYRM Jets coming out again. He is going to be zoomed up, and he is going to be looking to a bunch of damage and a bunch of hurt to the side of Avant.
And we have some more standard item selections, Cauterize Wrecker, and Tadashi again, picking up that Kronos, and Human Radio again, going with the Haven.
3.
Well,
2,
don't fix what ain't broke. If Human Radio's Haven works for him like it did last game, then might be best to stay on it. If Avant can pull this whole match back, though, that'd bring it to a 1-1 and push into the third game. We're going to see what happens, though, because we have Avant taking the point straight away, forcing Kings back. Whether they get the first pick or not is yet to be seen. So we have some flanks coming out here.
touchy game early here, and it looks like
An
the
enemy
first blood is going
has
to come
drawn
out.
first blood.
Corland, Mr. Flexi is going to respond with a pick onto the Ruckus. McCullough's going to get a hook onto the Fernando, and he's going to get targeted down. He is going down. Just
There we go.
waiting here.
More picks coming out here for Avant Guard. King's getting forced back. Myth and Human Radio, the only ones still alive. Myth gets hooked in though, and if Human Radio doesn't escape here, he's going to get really staggered. I don't think they know where he is though. Oh, Rice has seen where he is, but he has managed to get out of there. Rice going for a... He's going to go chase him down. He's overextending though. If they turn around and they see Rice out of position, they could capitalize. He's going to have to sneak back though. Myth did. I think it was Flexi actually. Yeah, Flexi on the Charlene did get a shot off here.
Oh, Corland nearly goes down there to Charlotte.
There goes Human Radio, and there goes Myth
Double
again. Kings, what are they doing? They're staggering in. Avant capitalizing. There goes the hook, and it is going to be a
Stop the
wipe.
payload.
Coolend only getting taken down there, though.
I'm not
But-
sure about your opinion, but this is just not the Kings that I expected to see.
No, definitely not. They're all on very strong champion picks of theirs. You know, they're not on bad players. There we go. Good hook from
Killing
Makoa.
spree.
Getting rid of that
Enemy
myth on the
killing
Cassie,
spree.
he can really show his presence, but when he gets hooked like that, and there we go again, Tadashi showing us that he can use that Makoa very effectively, trying not to miss as best as he can. Almost got the Drogos there, but Lionberg fixing up.
Kings actually
getting
got
the
an
kill.
ult here, as Lionberg's going to go and get that kill onto 4 April. Gonna wait to see what's happening here. The side of Kings is very low, and they're pushing back towards spawn to get a bit of health. Lionberg is gonna pick off the Mal Dumper. Looks like Cassie's trying to get a quick pick here. Myth is trying to get a pick around the back, but now he's around the back. He's not doing a lot.
There goes the Cassie ult though. Maybe just try and hold this point, but it is very, very close. And Avant have ults. If they need to do it, they can. There goes the ult from Human Radio. And Rice manages to get caught in that. He does have the ult he can use. There goes the Fernando and the Drogo's ult. Kings are really desperate to hold this point. Rice says, no, you can go down, Human Radio. And Myth, it's just the Fernando and Charlene. Fernando is low. Charlene gets taken out. And that is going to be a push for... Avant. That is beautifully played. That was brilliant from Avant. Solid performance. Rice staying alive. That was magnificent. That was probably one of the highlights that I've seen so far.
That was just great play from Rice and Lionberg. Lionberg staying alive with that survivability we were talking about before, and that was the Avant. That was a hint of an Avant that looks like it'll be able to take up a challenge to Kanga.
Oh, that was magnificently played. Absolute top performance there from Avant. If they can do that against Kanga, I could see them possibly taking a map. That was outstanding. Arguably poor played with the side of Kings. Maybe they slipped up a few times with their ults, getting a bit panicky. But Avant, they just kept their cool. They kept their head in the game, and amazingly done. There we go, Tadashi again, getting rid of Sot. Cool-and taking out the healer. So then it's just the DPS and Flexi answering back, getting rid of Rice. And if they don't get out of here, Kings are going to be in a very sticky situation, similarly to last game.
Yeah, indeed, and it's just the stagger and the ultimate usage.
Again, Tadashi, the hooks. They are absolutely brilliant. I've only seen him miss maybe one or two, but there we go, another one! And there goes the ult from Ruckus, right as Tadashi manages to pick the hook up. Avant ult, there we go, Lionberg! What is he doing on the Ruckus? That is some disgusting stuff. He is having no mercy whatsoever. Lionberg, you're making Kings look bad. They are not a bad team, but it is what you're doing to them. Have some mercy.
Killing spree.
This is just insane. I've never seen Kings look so panicking, and I've known Kings as the team that's the calm, the cool, and the collected team, but this team just seems to be panic ulting and positional errors. This is not the Kings I was wanting to see.
And if they don't fix their game up within the next minute and 50 seconds, they're going to see themselves getting knocked out in the semi-finals of this first week of the Road to Dreamhack OCE qualifiers, which would be a shame to see because them being in the finals is probably something that a I would have liked to see. But Avant, they're probably gonna get in the finals at this rate. If they pull off something like they did last round, they're gonna be in the finals with Kanga.
Yeah, and they're being very smart here. They got they had one person on their team picked off, so they're obviously just going to push back. Something we didn't see from Kings. They would just seem to stagger at this point, but Avant had that class and execution, and they're just going to push back here and wait.
Yeah, that's
It's 93 very low there, and he's finally going to get picked off by Lionberg. Lionberg getting quite low there, but Turles lands a hook. He has been landing every hook that he sees.
And I did actually see the Drogo ult come out, but he didn't manage to get anyone on that. Bryce managed to get rid of him though. This is getting dangerously close to the point. And Human Radio gets taken down. Oh my god, it is Cassie and Charlene. If they do not survive, if they do not stick to this point, they are gone. And there is the point.
That is game.
Avant going into the finals with Kanga. This is flashbacks to pretty much every final we've had in OCE. It's always Avant Kanga, and they've both proven why. Kanga is dominant. They have proven it in international stages, in international and national. They are a dominant team, but Avant, look at what they can do. They just made Kings look like a bronze team. There's silver, there's gold, but they made them look bronze. That was beautiful from Avant and just poor from Kings.
Yeah, indeed. It's just... I've never seen a team just not demoralize, that's not the word I'm looking for, but just dismantle a team like they did to Kings. It just seemed like they were in their head and on the realm. It was very insane to see a team of such a high caliber and be able to keep their cool, and they just weren't able to execute. It was not very good to watch.
I can only suspect that maybe Kings members were getting a little bit tilted because they just seemed to lose focus really, really quickly. As soon as they lost that second point on the on Serpent Beach, they just started collapsing slowly, bit by bit. They just started stumbling and falling, making small error after small error, which eventually built up into a bit bigger errors. And then they just completely crumbled. They lost communication by the looks of things. And that is what happened. That's why Paladins, as much as it is mechanical skill, it's also very mental. You got to be mentally focused and in the zone, especially in situations like this.
Yeah, can't agree more, but it looks like it's going to be the 1 and 2 seed in the finals. I haven't been able to see an update on the side of Kanga v Forfeit at the moment, but I can only expect that Kanga are going to look like they're going to take that game away.
Yeah, I'm just going to have a quick look at the custom lobby, see if anything's getting made up. And nothing so far. Although I think that is going to be a scrim between Wildfire and TMX, because that's a lobby that's being set up, but both of those teams have been knocked out. So we're going to have to see Kanga eventually get rid of Forfeit. Or maybe Forfeit can surprise us. I don't foresee it happening, but you never know. I also didn't foresee Kings getting dominated, as they just did. But you never know. Things can happen.
Things can happen, and teams, even at such a very high level as Kanga, teams can get on tilt. It happens. It's mental. It's the human brain. Sometimes when things don't go your way, your brain automatically just turns to the negative. And if Avant-Garde can get in Kanga's head, maybe they can just get the upset of this tournament and take down Kanga. It'll be very interesting to see.
Yeah, definitely. Just looking at the lineups though, like Kings and Avant, they have very, very experienced players. Like you shouldn't see players from Kings. You know, you got your Myth, your 4 April, some veterans of Paladins. They just collapsed much too quicker than I would have imagined. You know, they have versed Avant plenty of times before, and I'm not sure on the results of their scrims, but they've played them enough to know that they've got to stay cool, they've got to stay calm. But it just didn't happen for them, and that is a lot of bad luck to them, because it would have been really nice to see them in a game against Kanga, but unfortunately it's going to be Avant heading to the finals this week.
And it's I'm still getting no updates here on the side of the Kanga forefront game, but I guess we're gonna have to wait and see to see if Kanga are gonna join Avantgarde in those finals.
I'm gonna see if I can get some information out of Hades to see if he can provide us with any scores or any updates, because I believe they would have beat Forfeit in the first game. And he is typing currently, and they are on the second map. They're 2-0 up right now. So it's probably going to be within the next few minutes. We're going to have to wait and see what Forfeit can come up with. But if not, then within 5 or so minutes, it's probably going to be a Kanga versus Avant final.
And yeah, that's just what I guess all the viewers here are gonna, all 169 current viewers at the moment, here to see that top 2 matchup, and that's just what everyone is want to see. I know I want to see that matchup, because I just want to see. I haven't actually been able to see a match or comment or even casted a game of such a high caliber, and it'll be a great experience to be able to watch these two teams and watch to see if they make any mistakes or anything like that.
Yeah, it'll be good to see how both teams have evolved over the years, or not over the years, it's only been around for a while, but over the months rather, because they have always been the top 2 teams. They've always been very competitive. They've had some roster changes. Kanga has brought in Didge in exchange for Alston, and Avant. They've changed the roster around a few times. They lost Akmo and Joey G and Soch, but they have picked up Rice and Kunt from the former Empire team. But it's gonna be very, very interesting to see how they go.
Yeah, it's just going to be very interesting to see just how the teams are going to be able to manage. It'll be very interesting to see, because Avantgarde is a team that uses ultimates very well, and they're very good at communicating. But Kanga is, you can't even think about putting them as the upset winner. Any team that goes up against Kanga, unless it's on the international scene, it's going to be an upset if Kanga lose.
Yeah, they're extremely good players from both sides. Like, we have probably the top 5 almost players in OCE, all going to be in the one lobby. We have Josh, Joels, Didge, Chronix, Courland, Rice, all very, very solid DPS players, even though Josh does unfortunately get put on a support when he plays with Kanga. They are all very, very high caliber DPS players, very good mechanically, but it's going to be, I'm really excited to see whether Avant can cause an upset, can show us that they are actually contesting Kanga for this #1 spot in OCE.
Yeah, and even when tonight finishes, there will be a next week. It'll be a week 3, and it'll be very interesting if teams are going to change up some strategies and change up what they came into this week thinking. Like, it'll be very good to see if teams change up their roster, change up their champion select, and change up their strategy in game. And hopefully, I want to see, especially Kings. I'm sorry to single out Kings, but I really want to see Kings come back and just get their communication back and just make sure they focus and just try and get through to those finals.
Yeah, and hopefully the seeding for next week is a little different, and we don't see teams like Kanga and Avant getting buys in the first round. Even Kings got put straight through to the next round. So if we could see perhaps a Kings and Avant, or Kings and Kanga match early on, it could cause an interesting final, actually.
Yeah, it'll be extremely interesting to see, because obviously Kanga is going to be the team to beat, but I guess we're just going to have to wait and see if any new teams are going to come into the tournament and maybe make an upset, maybe get a quick cheeky upset onto one of those top teams.
Yeah, we can see on the bracket now, Avantgarde is confirmed their spot in the final already. So that's gone through. That's been confirmed by both Kings and Avantgarde. And now we're just waiting on the Forfeit Kanga. I'm presuming that the match is over now. I'll have to double check. I'll send Hades a message.
And ladies and gentlemen in the chat, that means we are getting that much closer. All famous OCE Path to Dreamhack Week 1 Grand Final, which is looking like it's going to be Kanga Esports versus Avant-Garde.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll wait for Hades to get back to me, and then hopefully we can get this lobby started ASAP, because I am very excited. Oh, he's just informed me that it is 3-1. So Valkyrie must have held their push. So extending that game out a little bit longer, it is probably going to go in the way of Kanga unless Valkyrie... oh no, it's not Valkyrie. It's my bad. It's Forfeit. If Forfeit can take another point, but hopefully we can get the Kanga Avant game started sooner rather than later.
Yeah, indeed, and it means that Kanga are probably just going to finish that game off, and because if you guys were most likely watching in the Valkyrie Esports versus Kanga, it seemed like Kanga just got their eye in after that first round, after that first point loss, and they just proceeded to absolutely steamroll.
Yeah, but then again, Avant have a steamroll going as well. So when you got two boulders both rolling down the hill, both are going to collapse eventually. But which one is going to crumble and which boulder will continue to obliterate? We'll have to wait and see.
I feel like this game's just either. I feel like this game. I can't see this game being a dominated game. I can't see it being a 4-0. I can't see that.
Both
These
teams
they
seem
have too high caliber,
and and they also have this momentum going with them. So one of the teams is going to have to crumble eventually. Their momentum is going to have to slowly wear out because one team is going to come out on top. No matter how well both teams perform, there can only be one winner. Even if both teams play extremely well, only one can remain victorious.
Yeah, indeed. But, all
Kanga,
we can do is wait.
Kanga has finished their map, so that will be the 2-0 for Kanga against Forfeit. And we'll have to just wait on the scores to get updated so that we can get this final match underway. I believe it's a BO3 as well. It might be BO5. I'm not entirely sure. I was under the impression it was best out of one until I got told otherwise. But, there's a bit of miscommunication amongst CG, amongst me, amongst the, me and you and Matt. So we only got informed of this just recently. We thought this was going to be a quick stream, but evidently not. Hopefully you guys listening and watching aren't getting tired of our voices yet, because we still have this amazing match to come.
Yeah, and I'm trying to look through right now and see. I'm trying to see if it is going to be a best of 5, but I can't see anything that is going to suggest anything of the sort. I can't see any match rules or any best of 5s or any summary that looks like it's going to happen.
I'll send Hades a message and see if it's going to be a BO3 final. And we have Forefront's captain here, Kakacho, who's going to drop a message in the captain's chat, which is where I'm getting its information from, which is why you are probably not seeing this. Kakacho said bronze match is happening. I think he wants a Forfeit versus Kings match. It's not on the bracket, so I'm not sure if that's going through. I'll have to see. It is Kanga versus Avant, though. We have got the confirmed bracket update. I'll see if Forefront and Kings are going to have that third place match. I don't think it will go through, though.
I believe it'll just have to go through CG, and I can't see CG approving that at the current moment. I guess it'll just have to be maybe a little fun game that happens, but I guess we'd have to wait and see, to be quite honest.
Yeah, and this lobby should be getting set up hopefully very shortly. We'll see where they're at right now. Oh, apparently there is going to be a third place match. It's just not on the bracket though. So yeah, Hades is saying for Kakacho, who's the forfeit captain, to get that match going against Kings. But ultimately, we're still going to stream the Kanga versus Avant match. We can't not stream it.
Select your champion.
Yeah,
When that
Yeah,
lobby
that's true.
gets set up.
trying to have a look on the custom lobbies at the moment, but I'm not seeing anything.
We're actually into the draft at the moment, guys. They've just started, and there's a Makoa first pick on the side of Avant.
Oh, what the? Okay, spectate.
That was a quick lobby. And yes, we are indeed in. Coolland taking the Makoa, Hades, and Chronix locking in Ruckus, Bomb King.
I am in, yeah.
With the Maldumba. Eevee! That's shown up for the first time tonight. We'll have to see. I'm probably going to say Rice is going to take that Eevee. But that means that Dig and Joels have a lot of flexibility with their DPS picks. They have the Androxus, the Charlene, the Drogos, Cassie, and Victor all can be picked. They're going to take Ying, and they're going to take Charlene, which means that Avant now, they have a lot of options with who they want to take. They can either go with the Fernando, which would be interesting, because then it would leave Kanga with a Ruckus and then either a Barak, Torvald, or Inara if they want to run that second tank.
Yeah, but currently it seemed like the double tank comp from Avant, just that was the comp that seemed to absolutely steamroll. I mean, I don't expect them to do an identical comp, but if the record isn't broke, don't fix it. But I guess they're trying to fix it.
And this has put Kanga in such a difficult position now because they only have the one tank in Ruckus. And if they are going to want to have two tanks, they're going to have to take Fernando. But Hades on the Fernando, he isn't as comfortable as he is with Makoa. So they're going to take him anyway. Double heals coming out, though, from the side of Avant. Grok is probably going to be used as a DPS, unless they want to establish that real point dominance, as we've seen Kanga doing in the last few matches.
Yeah, indeed. It'll be very interesting. Yeah, Hades is going to go into that Fernando, and yeah, he's not as confident as he is on other tanks such as Poa or any other tank, really. But as we've said many times in the stream before, Hades is a player of many talents, and I believe this will only affect him a small piece.
I haven't seen the map yet. The map will come up any moment now. So we'll have to see why the Eevee pick has come out, because that can work on a select few maps. Some it works better than others. Joel's on the Charlene, and the map is going to be... This is Frozen Guard, now that I've had a closer look at it. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
So the Eevee, it can work quite well on this map. I have seen it work very effectively. Joel's on the Charlene it's still one that I might have to see how it goes, because he can get countered quite easily by the Eevee, because he did pick the Charlene into the Eevee. But we'll see how that goes. He's probably going to have to stick to his team.
And we'll pause on 70.
Yes, we will.
I'm nearly there. I'm 4 seconds away.
Yeah, so am I. Pause.
I'm paused. Actually, at 69.
69. Well, I'll get to there then. All right, I'm there
Right.
now. So
Right,
you
count
guys
us in.
ready to go? All right. 3, 2, 1, go. And 8, 7,
7,
6,
6.
5.
We are
Too
good.
easy.
All right. Good luck, guys.
Now, this is the first map I think we've seen where we haven't had an Andro or a Drogo pick, or a Cassia for that matter. 3 very, very strong DPS. None of them being picked.
Yeah, quite. They're choosing to take. I'm gonna have a quick look at the loadout and confirm that Corland is going to be taking a DPS build, and I am going to be able to confirm that he is going to be taking that. He's going to be taking that DPS build, and it'll be very interesting to see how he'll be able to perform on that Grok.
Looking at the first cards, Cauterized Wrecker,
Pick a
and then we have
five,
Kronos
4,
for Kunt
3,
and
2.
for Tadashi. and then Hades picking up that master riding. Let's see how effective it comes into use, because I think they're gonna get on that point a lot quicker.
Charles is
Nice
gonna get
hook.
a really early, and that's going to take him down to about 3,000 health, and he's going to put Hades under a lot of pressure. He's going to have his shield is now down. Is he going to get focused down? Actually, Kanga are going to jump in onto the Eevee. The Eevee's getting really low. Actually, the Ying is going to get taken down for first blood. Josh Kent is getting taken out. But Kanga responds very nicely with 4 kills, and that is 5 kills. Digidog getting... Digidog absolutely getting 3 of them, and that was a great play on the side of Kanga.
Yeah, most definitely. And this is going to be their point. And will they be able to get the steamroll going throughout the rest of this match? It'll be interesting to see, because the rest of the matches, the first Avant match that we saw and the first Kanga match that we saw, they both lost the first point. So, who knows? Could Avant come back? Maybe, maybe not.
I'm scrolling through here. Looks like Digi's just going to be camping behind. Going to be camping behind Cades here. Cades here, sorry. Josh Kent on that Ying, just trying to get a little bit of poke. Trying not to get hooked, but Turtle's
almost
going
get taken down. He does get taken down.
Digi's going to get taken down here, and that's going to be closely followed by Hades here. Is Avant going to push to their 2-man advantage?
Chronix couldn't get out in time, and Tadashi takes him down. Avant can now push forward a little bit more. And
a lot of damage being taken onto Josh Kent. He's going to need to chill.
Stay in there.
That Bomb King is over on that side doing a lot of work at the moment.
Courland is just hunting down Josh. He's not letting him get forward. Courland does get forced back though by Joel's expert shots. And Hades is forcing Courland back. Chronix with a pick. Dig with a pick.
He's going to get 2 shot there. That was a double shot there from Digi, and that's going to be an easy pickup. And here comes the steamroll. Here comes that roll we were talking about so highly.
And Coot is going to get staggered if he is not too careful. Dig, can he get the pick? He does.
Chronix is going to get the pick in the end. Bomb King ult coming out to stop people coming in from spawn, and this is just a zoning tool. This is just an absolute zoning tool. This is stopping.
They've bought themselves a lot of time. That point is almost there. There goes the Ying ult to try and confirm that. It is so close. Tadashi gets taken down. Eevee stalling. There goes the Ruckus, and it is going to be a push for Kanga.
That was an amazing effort from Kanga. There was that steamroll.
Now this is not Avant performing poorly. They're performing to the best of their ability. But
Indeed.
when you're up against Kanga, they have performed so well throughout the night and throughout their time as a team.
As we were talking about in the pre-game, this is what we were talking about.
Seconds.
This is the Kanga steamroll that we have been talking about for so long. This is what they can do to teams. They can just get one pick and just absolutely steamroll it into the point or pushing the payload. It's insane to watch. They just dismantle teams. It's Avant-Garde, as you said, not playing poorly. It's just Kanga just really outplaying the matchup currently.
Every team playing against Kanga on an OCE level, they're always made to look bad, even though they're not necessarily performing poorly. Because Kanga, they are just so dominant. Like, look at them, getting 2 picks straight off the bat. Dig picking up another, getting behind.
There's going to be 2 more picks, and that is going to probably be the point. And this is the Kanga that can just dominate the Oceania scene. This is very good to watch. I love watching Kanga at its best, and this is a finely tuned machine at the moment. They're on great communication levels.
There goes the hook though. Chronix getting out of there. Chronix saying to his team, I've been hooked. Give me some help. There he goes. Not being used effectively though. Gets picked off. And that was a wasted Makoa. Oh, that's only going to be a detriment to his team as Josh picks up 2 kills. Might be playing on support, but he is a DPS main at heart with another kill. Look at him go. Courland, though, is probably going to get killed if he's not too careful, and he's going to get taken down by Chronix.
And this is just pushing Avant-Garde back. This is great Paladins teamwork. There's a headshot from Chronix, and he does try and do some damage from afar, but here comes that Kanga steamroll.
Looking at the scoreboards though, we have Courland yet to pick up a kill. Rice also with 0 on the board. So these two DPS picks, the two that we haven't seen Avant pick previously, and they're not proving to be very solid picks. They're not working in their favor. There goes the Ying ult though.
They did have options of other DPS, but they must have been thinking about some particular type of comp, which clearly isn't.
The Ruckus ult, maybe not in the best position because he gets taken out straight away. Lineberg goes down as well. Hades and Dig.
Josh Kent able to get another kill. He's been getting a lot of currently. Bomb King is going to ult. Can they do it right here? McCullough does not have ult. He only has 29%. He might go down here. This is going to be a victory. That is going to be GG. Week 1. Kanga are going to take it out 4-0 in the grand final. That was insane.
So the first map there, going straight in Kanga's favor. That, again, Avant, they are not a bad team. They were not performing poorly. They just cannot compete with Kanga in the form that they're in. Joel's not even managing to die once, staying alive the entire game, being a threat from start to finish. And that was beautifully played by Kanga, and just bad luck for the side of Avant. Perhaps the draft didn't go in their favor. They tried to maybe, pull some tricks out of their sleeve with the Eevee and the Grok pick, maybe trying to catch them off guard. But Kanga said, no, none of that. We're going to come out here and we're going to show why we are a top 5 global team.
Yes, indeed. And Kanga are just proving that they are the man in Oceania. They are the team to beat. Teams have taken. Sorry.
Oh, no, go on. I was just saying I'm cute to spectate the match because the lobby is being up. Lineberg has created it. They're just going to wait on Kanga members to join in on it. But what were you going to say?
I was just talking about just the sheer terror that that Kanga seemed to put into people. It's amazing to see what they can do to certain teams, and the best of teams, Kanga is just able to just push right through them. And it started in the draft. They had a very nice draft, and then it was just in their communication and teamwork execution on the point. They were able to control the point very well, and when they got a pick, they were able to push up and get aggressive.
And speaking of that draft, we're going to get into it again. Hades taking the Bomb King first, though. Maybe a comfort pick for Dig, instead of going with that Makoa, as I would have assumed they would, because that is what is a very standard meta pick, taking Makoa first. He's very strong right now.
It's gonna be an Eevee and a Connect. I'm expecting that this is
possibly Fish Market or Timbermill.
Or Timbermill, yeah. Fish Market or a Timbermill. There's an Eevee, so Fish Market?
Quite possibly. Eevee probably going to get put on Rice again. Maybe give him a second chance. He didn't really show much potential with the Eevee in that last game.
And it's going to be a Grover. They're going to I'm guessing this could be Timbermill still, though, because that Grover and Kinessa combo on Timbermill is very deadly.
They're probably going to take... They could go with that Nando and with the Ying Kanga, because Ruckus as a solo tank might not work, although that would leave Rice for Avant to then take a Kinessa or a Charlotte. It's going to be a barrack for the first time we've seen. No Fernando, and which that could leave a Fernando for Avant, because then they'd have double heals and double tank. It would be something we haven't seen this week yet, but I'd probably predict possibly a Charlene or a Cassie. There we go. Hovering the Charlene locks him in. This is interesting.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna go for round 2 of that comp. They're gonna, but looks like Avant are gonna be trying to go for that Eevee again, and they're giving Rice another chance to try and dive that Kinessa and try and do some work.
I'm not sure if this is probably a switching error, but we have Lineberg on the Charlene and Courland on the Grover. That is not something I would have predicted. I would have said Courland on the Charlene. We'll have to see if that was perhaps just an error in Paladins, not letting them do the extra switch. We'll have to wait and see, though, because I wouldn't have predicted that. Not in a million years.
Yeah, I have to be surprised as much as you are. Like, this is quite the thing to see. We're going to be seeing Lionberg on DPS, and we're going to be seeing Corland on the healer. And I think it is indeed I'm not entirely sure, but I'm saying that the Grover had no levels.
Yeah, I saw that as well. So
I'm not entirely sure if that was a spectator bug or if there was actually a switching error and Corland has not played Grover before.
I'm keeping noted on Discord to see if Lionberg and Kanga and Hades, they say anything, but I'm not entirely sure if that's a mistake, if that was intentional, but we'll pause at 70 again and we'll see what happens.
Yes, indeed. I'm going to be there in about 5. Try and pause on 70 this time and not 69. Oh.
Okay, we'll pause it.
disappeared. We'll pause
Okay.
at 5
Time
seconds
disappeared.
on the top. 5 seconds on the top. Yep.
Okay, we'll let that go.
I'm there now.
3, 4, 5. There we go.
Okay,
I'm paused on
as
5.
well.
Alright.
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go. 6, 7,
7,
8.
8,
Nine.
too
We are-
easy.
Alright, good luck, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be getting into our second consecutive game of no problems on spectator end, or any crashes, or any commentator bugs. This is going to be a smooth run for the finals. I think it's just that grand final luck coming in, and we have 23 seconds until we get some action on Timbermill.
Coolland hasn't selected a loadout yet. Oh no, there you go. He has
indeed
taken one.
selected a low bout. He's taken
This-
deep roots, and he's taking Chronos. There's 2 Chronos
5,
and a Master Riding from the side of Right.
2.
They're gonna look to be
And
very
so
aggressive here
begins.
because they do have the double heals, so they can maybe establish a bit more point control. So
Very
maybe
keen
the aggression might pay off.
Very keen to have a quick tab on Rice here as he tries to go around. Bomb King has spotted him. King does spot him as he does a bunch of damage to him currently. Lionberg is able to snipe Joels. What a great pick there. Bomb King's trying to pick off Rice, and Rice is able to escape. That was a very nice play from Rice.
Hades is about to go down here if he's not careful. Josh Kent doing his best to keep him alive, using those clones very effectively. Hades on the sliver of health manages to escape and stay alive, and then they manage to grab 2 picks. That's just the communication that we were talking about that Kanga have in abundance.
Josh Kent being absolutely a beast at the moment, being incredibly aggressive. Great job from here with these clone placements. Very good knowledge of the champion.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about with Kanga. They, as much as they are great individual players, they have
Stop the payload.
such a good. They're a team. They're a team at heart because they know they have the other members' best interests in their. It's their main priority. They have their team as their #1 priority right now. Whereas someone like Rice, very good individually, but I think sometimes he might need to, think about his team a little bit more.
Ult is actually going to come out there. Turles is. I do have to be very grateful for Turles' hooks today. They've been absolutely on point, even if they do go down here.
Josh again though using that Ying.
Just something out
As
of
much as they are a support, Josh can make any character look like a solid DPS.
I actually just looked, he did not take the lifelike card, he has actually taken if you land 5 shots you do 200 plus more damage, so he's clearly looking to be very aggressive on.
We're gonna have to see what ults get popped here because we have 3 for Kanga. There goes the Maldumba ult to perhaps buy Avan a bit more time as they do pick up 3 kills, forcing Kanga back. So still a minute and 10 seconds that Kanga can use to get this final push in and give it the 2-0 advantage. But we're going to have to see if they use ults to try for this, if they're going to stay back, or if they're going to try to do this and save ults for the next point.
You have to trust Kanga to be the team who makes backing off look quite easy, and as Turles lands another hook on, he's going to have to back off a little bit because he's taken a fair bit of damage.
Yeah,
Dumbo's going to have to get a bit of heals onto him.
And as soon as Hades got hooked, what I saw was he used his rocket boots to get out of there, and there was a clone waiting for him around the corner. Like, Josh had his back as soon as he got hooked, and there goes Soon getting taken down. They have ults to use if they want to get this point. Rice stalling for time. This Pella getting closer by the second. Charlin, Makoa, and there goes the Grover ult to keep his team alive with 15 seconds remaining. Coolan getting a pick onto Chronix. That's a little bit less point control they have. Hate staying alive as Makoa pops the ult, trying to get the kill. Gets taken down. Kuhn gets taken down too. And there goes Charlin, and it's a complete wipe in the favor of Kanga. Well played.
That is a 2-0, and that is just... again, we have to give credit. Kanga just absolutely pushing on a slight any mistake. They smelt blood as soon as any mistake occurred on the side of Avant-Garde. They just swooped in for the kill and managed to take all 5 of them down and secure the 2-0.
Oh, of course. And see, even when they get forced back, they get knocked off their little steamroll, they have to regroup, they have to get another push in. They can do it superbly because they keep their heads in the game. And that's just going to help them when they go to execute those retakes.
We are getting into the second part of this match, and we're going to see what Avant can do in response to Kanga's dominance.
Kanga getting some early points though, because no one from Avant's heading for the point straight away. Hade's just kind of sitting there, getting some free percentage, while his teammates go on the back and try to get picks. No one getting picked off so far. Any second now, we can probably see someone going down. We have a few people low, Lionbird being one of them. Almost going down. Chronic's going to try chase the kill, gets the kill. Coolan getting rid of Joel's again. Those little sniper battles that you can have between Grover and Kinessa. There goes the Barrack ult, just trying to secure this point because no one's getting on it. He's sat there the entire time, not being contested. And that's the result of it. They get the point because no one from Avant decided to, contest Hades. They went for those picks on the outside.
Yeah, this is just clutch. This is just absolutely clutch Kanga here. They're just really performing on the stage here. Josh Kent went down, so he's going to be a little bit back from his team. He's coming back now on his horse, and he should be able to rejoin and give his team some heals very shortly as they start to get around that. As they start to get out in the open now, and they come down that final stretch on their way to, hopefully for them, Week 1 victory.
Double kill.
I just saw then, Tadashi hit a really nice hook up onto Ruckus, pulled him down off the high ground, but there was none of his teammates there to capitalize on it. No one else helped him take him down, and as a result, since Chronic said, hey, I've been hooked, one of his teammates came along and helped get the kill, and Avant
is actually behind Kanga here, and they're going to be absolutely panicking here.
There goes the
Josh can do a lot of... That is game!
Well done to both teams, but Kanga, again, they are the #1 team in OCE, and that is why.
And that is going to be GG. I'm not entirely sure. Is it a best of 5? I haven't been able to find out yet, but...
I don't think it is. Let me just ask
In
Hade.
the captain's chat, you should be able to find out.
I wouldn't say so, since the rest of the matches have been a best of 3.
Yeah, indeed. I'm not sure if the final is going to be anything different.
I'll have a look and see if there are any lobbies being made up. I wouldn't say there are, because I think that could be it. Yep, Lionberg's just confirmed it is a BO3, and that will be GG to both teams, Avant and Kanga. Kanga remaining victorious on their very, very high pedestal, remaining #1 team in OCE, and they're going to take Week 1 of the Road to Dreamhack.
Yeah, indeed, and I can't say it's a surprise because it's just what they do. It's just what Kanga can do to teams, and they've just shown that that steamroll effect, they can do it to anyone in OCE. They can do it to anyone.
Yeah, well played to all the teams this week. Unfortunately, we are going to have to wait until next week to see what other matchups we get. Hopefully next week is going to be a little more smoothly, but this week is taken by Kanga, and I'll head you guys off to Matzi so that he can close down. It's been a pleasure having you all here for the stream.
Thank you very much, guys. See you later.
Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning into the stream. Definitely keen for the next couple of weeks of the Dreamhack Open for the Oceanic region. Hopefully the teams that had some shortcomings tonight will be able to come out on top and potentially make it into the round robin.
And if you guys want to stay updated with stuff like this, you can always follow us three on Twitter. We'll have our links somewhere. We got at Matsy, at Laboy, and at Benno Paladins, I do believe it is, or is it at Benno OCE?
It's at Benno Paladins.
At Benno Paladins, and you can always follow CG. You can follow us, and yeah, follow Matt on Twitch, because hopefully we can maybe get some interesting midweek streams and maybe be on that official Paladins game Twitter for next week.
Yes,
Yeah,
hopefully
indeed.
we'll get the stream sorted on the official Paladins game stream next week. Unfortunately, some technical difficulties on that side this time around, but hopefully next week everything should be stable and good to go. And yeah, if you guys want to look over some of the games tonight, there are VODs within my videos, so definitely look over them if you're interested in that. Anyway, that'll be all for us for the night, and yeah, we will see you guys next week.
Take care, guys.
Have a good one.